Brad, this is the Let's Get Inspired live vlog. This is episode 63 that we're on now. It is Sunday, the 23rd of November, 2025. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. This is the Inspirational Ambivert channel. Episode 63, which I've just mentioned. Today, we're going to be the title. One moment, sorry. The title for today is Why You Keep Ruining Good Things, Trauma Live. So why you keep ruining good things? Why are you self-sabotaging in your life, potentially? I'm going to talk about those things in a moment. So let me just put this in the title. Let me just do this first. Have you ever, the question I'm going to begin with, have you ever self-sabotaged in your life? Have you ever had a good thing going or a potential good thing going and you've sabotaged it in yourself? You've stopped yourself from doing something. I've done it. Absolutely. Unconsciously and consciously, I suppose. But I'll talk about that in a moment. Let me just type this in. One moment, sorry. Just get it in there as quickly as I can, so people know what I'm talking about, and then I'll start. Okay, there we go. There we go. Let me move that up. That's perfect. Right. So have you ever self-sabotaged something in your life? I want to refer to my notes just to begin with. Does it ever feel like you're the one ruining good things in your life? Or maybe you've done it in your past. Maybe you're doing it at the moment. Who knows? Even when you don't want to, you really want something, but you just mess it up. You just stop that from happening. Let's talk about why that happens, especially if you grew up with trauma or narcissistic parents. Because trust me, it's not always. Sometimes it might be your fault, but it's not always going to be your fault. It depends on the situation, I suppose. So let's begin with, what does self-sabotage actually mean? What does it mean? It's when your actions don't match the life that you want. So it's when your actions don't match the life that you want. That's what self-sabotage is. So let me start. So one moment, let me just write that down. Or 248. There we go. So we're going to move on. Hi, Sander. How are you? I hope you're okay. How are you doing? I'll just have a sip of water. One moment. So, why good things can feel uncomfortable in people's lives? Sanders is asking, is it standing in your own way of achieving something? Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Self-sabotage is standing in your own way. I'll go into detail in that in a moment, Sander. Yes, it is. Absolutely. It is standing in your own way. It's preventing yourself from doing amazing things, potentially. I think a lot of people do it. A lot of people do it at some point. And there's a lot of different reasons why they do it. I'm specifically talking about people who've gone through trauma, who have had narcissistic parents. However, it could apply to other people too. Sander saying she's great at that. You're really good at self-sabotaging. Yeah, I've been there, Sander. I've been there. I know. I've been there. Mads Pedersen. Hi, Mads Pedersen. Can you say hi to Denmark? Hi to Mads Pedersen. My name's Brad, by the way, Mads Pedersen. I hope you're okay. How's life in Denmark is the question. It's meant to be a really nice place to live, I've heard. I've never been to Denmark. Hi to you. So let me crack on with some of the content, and I'll respond to the comments as and when I can throughout the live, of course. So why good things can feel uncomfortable? Trauma can make peace feel uncomfortable. Trauma can make peace feel uncomfortable. What does that mean? What does that mean? Let me think about that. If you're so used to the chaos, if you're so used to, it just becomes your normal. If you're brought up in a chaotic, crazy upbringing, you're around chaos all the time. That's all you know. That's all you can see. You're seeing toxic behaviors from your parents or your siblings or your family dynamics, and that's all you know. That is your normal then, isn't it? That's your normal. So if you see peace in your life, if you're so used to chaos, that's all you know, your peace and calmness is going to be alien to you. It's going to be strange. It's not going to feel right, if you get what I'm trying to say. So that's where that comes in my opinion. Yeah, it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. It's like, why is everything so calm all of a sudden? Why is it all calm? Oh, I'm so used to the chaos. And then potentially what can happen if you're brought up around a lot of trauma, etc., and you have trauma in yourself, that can lead you to creating it potentially, which I'll get into. So you're used to that. You're used to basically. I was just referring to my notes a moment, just to be open and honest, to keep the structure of the live going. You're used to chaos. Stability feels foreign to you. You're so used to that mad shit going on, like I've just said. And another one is your nervous system is going to potentially be on high alert all the time. Your nervous system is wired that way. Sandra's then saying, I'll go to Sandra. My anxiety sometimes prevent me from actually doing what I want. It's almost like I feel like I don't deserve it. Fear of success. That's a really good point, Sandra. Absolutely bang on. I'm just going to pin that comment. That's a really good comment. Thank you. Yeah, you worry. You're worrying about the future. Anxiety. You're highly strung. That's your nervous system, isn't it? You're highly. It's on high alert. It's worried. It's seeing where the next threat's going to come in potentially. It's seeing where you think you're on high alert because you're expecting the chaos, because you've been brought. Your developmental stage of life, being young, of course, was used to the fucking chaos. High alert. Potentially, everyone reacts to things differently, of course, and you're thinking, when's the next punch coming in? When's the next person going to be rude to me? I'm worried. I'm anxious. You're scanning around potentially. That can make you fearful, and feel like you're not good enough, etc., etc. And then that can also potentially lead to fear of success. Absolutely, Sandy, you made a good point. Sandy's saying it's my critic. It's like my inner critic is lying to you. Yes. The voice in your head, we all have a voice in our head. We all have a brain, of course. We all have thoughts, of course. And it's not always telling you, it's not always, the brain in your head can help you lots, of course. The brain is helping you in a lot of ways. However, sometimes you need to rewire it. And if you don't, you've got that inner critic. You're not good enough. My inner critic can be really bad. I still have it now. I just recognize it, but it's still there. It's still there in me. I've been real with you. It's still there in me. Absolutely. I love what you just said there, though, Sandra. Fear, the acronym fear, false evidence appearing real. Absolutely. False evidence appearing real. Like, you're not good enough. You can't do that. How is that true? Maybe you could do that. But your mind, your inner critic is telling you that you can't. That you can't. Absolutely. So this is potentially connected to trauma, narcissistic. It could be because of you experience narcissistic behaviours from your parents growing up, or the trauma that you've experienced when you were growing up, which has led to you being the way that you are. And sometimes what can happen is you're brought up in, let's say, a narcissistic upbringing, or you're brought up with a bit of trauma, which you've got from your parents' behaviour potentially. But then you can develop those behaviours, etc., and think that that could be your normal, if you know what I'm trying to say. You could think that that's the way you are. Oh, I'm just the way. This is just the way I am. And sometimes those like that inner critic, etc., can really, really fuck your life up. It can really hold you back. And if you don't work on it, that's the way you're going to function in life, and you're going to miss out on a lot of potential, a lot of good opportunities. And sometimes you need to rewire that nervous system, don't you? You need to rewire your mind to become the best version of yourself. That's what we're working towards. That is what we're working towards. One moment, let me have a sip of water. So, like Sanders just really perfectly said, is that fear of success. How can that look? How can that fear of success look in your life? Have I done it? Let me think about myself. I don't know if you guys have ever done this. I've been at a job for so long. I work really hard. I work as a nurse, by the way. I work as a scrub nurse in theatres, if you don't know. And there's opportunities for a promotion. And sometimes I'll think to myself, oh, that person's better than me. They deserve it. I'm not even going to go for it. I'm not even going to bother. They've been here 10 years. I've only been here 3 years, so they deserve it more than me. So I'm not going to bother. That's kind of fear of success. It's also a fear of success is, oh, if I go for that job, everyone will think I'm an arsehole. They won't like me. The people pleaser in me would maybe think that. So I don't want to upset the boat. I don't want to make people think that I'm an arsehole. So therefore, I will not go for that job. That's a sign of fear of success. It could also be you could have a romantic interest. You could really like someone. They might even like you back. So there's a potential relationship there. But because you don't love yourself enough, you think you're not good enough for them. So you'll jeopardize that relationship, even though they might even genuinely like you. Your fear of success kicks in. It's like, no, they don't like me. I'm not good enough. They deserve someone better than me. So you'll pass up potential relationships, potential partners, because of that fear of success. Maybe even linked to fear of rejection. Have I done that? Yeah, fear of rejection. I used to have a lot of that. You're trying to protect yourself, you don't want to get hurt again. You don't want to get upset again. You're wounded. You're wounded. So you put the walls up, you put defenses up. That fear of rejection is going to block anyone coming in. You put the walls up. They're solid, those walls. They're solid. Nothing bad can get in when you put the walls up, but also nothing good can get in. So that's my point on the fear of success. I'll move on. Fear of failure. A fear of, I'm going to swear now, fear of fucking up. You don't want to look like an idiot. You don't want to mess anything up. I used to have it. I used to think I wasn't intelligent enough to go to university, believe it or not. I used to think I wasn't intelligent enough to go to university. You don't have to be Einstein to go into university, by the way. I don't know if you already know this. You just got to work hard. Some people naturally have a higher IQ than others. Of course you do. But if you work hard, if you work hard and you've got a decent average intelligence, you can still do really well. You can still go to university. It's still achievable. But I believe I wasn't intelligent enough. I wasn't wealthy enough to go. I didn't have enough money to go to a university. So I just didn't go for a long time until my 30s. So I was 37. I'm 43 now, for God's sake. Time goes quickly. But I had a fear of failure. I feel like I wasn't good enough. Fear of fucking up. That can kick in when you have got insecurities, when you've got a little bit childhood trauma that you've not worked on. Again, this could have come from narcissistic parents, potentially. Anyway, I'll move on. Of course, a low self-worth. Anyone experience that? Low self-worth, feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like you're fucking God. I still feel that now. It's still there now in me. I work on it the best I can. And I'm in a so much better place than I was with regards to this low self-worth. But it still kicks in sometimes, especially if you're tired or you're burnt out. But with regards to this, low self-worth, yeah, just maybe you've not been getting, if you're a young person, you're growing up, you're not getting the nurture that you need, the love that you need when you're growing up. And that can lead you to having lack of self-confidence, low self-worth. That low self-worth can come up from a lot of things, can't it, I suppose? It's just like, just don't feel like you're good enough. You feel like you're just bottom of the pile, you know what I mean? You feel like you're behind in life. You feel like you're just, it's just that, it's like not loving yourself. Not loving yourself. Which a lot of people in life experience at some point. I think most humans experience that at some point in their life. And obviously a lot of people deal with that in different ways. Some people who've got low self-worth, they're insecure, they'll be rude to others, they'll be turn into bullies. Some will turn into drugs, or both sometimes. The list can go on. A lot of people with low self-worth, some people will just take it out on themselves, they'll self-harm, they'll do lots of different things to cope with that low self-worth, but never actually deal with it properly. But that can definitely come from of course, a lot of the time it's going to originate from trauma in the past. It's going to come from narcissistic abuse, potentially, growing up. Another one, I'll move on. So, the next one is expecting things to go wrong. You actually, in your head, you're thinking, it's going to fuck up anyway. It's not even going to work. There's no point. Anticipating negativity, basically. Anticipating negativity in everything. Anxious, I suppose. Worried, I suppose. Thinking worst case scenario. Expecting everything to fuck up anyway. So you think, what's the point? There's no point even getting up today. There's no point even looking after myself. There's no point going to the gym. That's going even further. Expecting everything to go wrong all the time. Therefore, just keeping you in procrastination, potentially, just stuck, which is obviously not good as well. Of course. Expecting everything to go wrong. Sandra said, hi, Sandra. I'll just see what you've got to say. Brad, that's my name, by the way, Brad. You're hitting them all for me. Wow, I still have a lot of inner work to do. Absolutely, Sandra. Guess what, though? The reality is, the fucking truth is, I'm talking about all these things, etc., etc. I've still got a lot of work to do. There's still work to be done. It's not going to. You don't think, if you just do X, Y, Z, you do X, Y, Z for a month. And then if you do X, Y, Z for a month, you're fixed. It's all good. It's a very long process. It's growth and healing is a long process, and it's going to be imperfect, and you're not always going to get it right. And you can have days when you think you've not got anywhere. I have them. People have them. That's me being real with you. That's being honest with you. But it's worth it in the end. You do get there in the end. But you'll always have insecurities. You'll always have darker thoughts. You'll always have days where you just barely get through the day. I think that's normal. That's expected, in my opinion. Sorry if I sound a little bit nasal today. I've got a little bit of a. Sorry if I sound a bit nasal today, by the way. You've got a lot of inner work to do, but at least you realise it, Sandra. That's a really good thing. You're like, actually, I'm aware of the facts. A lot of people don't even go here. They don't even think about these things. They don't even recognise they need. They won't even think about, I don't need to do any work. They'll have a lot of insecurities, a lot of unhappiness. They don't look at it deeply. They self-medicate with medications or alcohol or drugs or whatever they're doing, which is, they're just trying to make the best of it they can. And they just get stuck and they never think about it deeply. And they just stay stuck where they are, or they just function they don't function well in society. Some people could be very educated, they still work. Some people work really well, they're really smart, but they have a lot of inner work they've not dealt with. I work with some people like this. They're fucking smart as hell. Really smart, much smarter than me academically. They'll piss all over me, but they're emotionally very stunted and they don't grow, and it affects them in their life. And then they're emotionally like an 8-year-old, basically. And then, but intellectually, they're smart as hell, really, really good at what they do. But it's kind of a fail in a way, isn't it? And they never do this inner work. One moment, sorry. It's so hard, Brad. I get caught up. Sorry, let me start again, guys. I'm not perfect myself. It's so hard, Brad. I get caught up and affected by my toxic work environments, and it sucks all my energy out of me. Yeah, it could be I get it. Doesn't leave much room for working on what I really want to do, and this isn't an excuse. It's a reason, Sandra. It's a reason, not an excuse. Let me break that down. It's hard if you're around a lot of toxic people, and it's all good and well, us sitting here in a nice, comfortable place. Sometimes you'll get YouTubers or whatever, influencers or whoever, these people could be experts, but they don't work. They don't work, right? And they're sat at home nice and comfortable. Good for them. And they're saying the best things ever in the perfect fucking way about psychology, about how to deal with toxic people. However, they're millionaires, let's say that, some of these people, not all, and they're comfy. And they're telling you how to deal with toxic people. And what they're saying is 100% right. However, you work with loads of people that are toxic, right? You're around them at that time. You're tired, you're stressed. Dealing with it is it's a lot easier said than done, like a lot of things are, Sander. Absolutely. And if you're around toxic people too much, they will suck the life out of you. Absolutely. I think, like I've said before, is if you're around a toxic person, it's very unlikely you'll be able to bring them up to your level to a nicer. It's hard to change someone who's truly toxic into just, or you can just change them into like a nice person. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. However, this toxic person could easily bring you down, potentially, especially if you're around a few of them. And yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. I get it, Sander. Sorry, that's all I've got to say on that. Sander saying it feels hard admitting this publicly, but it's true. Yeah, I agree, Sander. I absolutely agree. Sorry, it's going to have a little sip of water. I'll keep going. I'll ask you a question. Does calmness ever make you feel uneasy? I'm just going to change that. I'm just typing something in, guys. There we go. Does calmness ever make you feel uneasy is the question. And what time are we on there? 21:45. Sorry, I'm just writing my times in there. Okay. I'll keep going, guys, the best I can. One moment. Just a little breather for myself here. I'm back in England. I was on holiday in Croatia. I'm glad I'm back in a way. I'm in my own environment. I prefer doing my lives from my own home, of course. Feels a lot better. Feels a lot better. So that's great. Sorry, I'm just going about myself there at the moment. So does calmness ever make you feel uneasy is the question. I'll leave it up there while I carry on. So next part is the narcissistic parent's voice. The narcissistic parent's voice. So what does that mean? You're not good enough. You're not good enough. How can you have that? You're not good enough. You could be brought up. Let's talk about narcissistic parenting now and how that can affect you. How is it going to impact you? I'll go to your comment in a moment, Sander, sorry. You're not good enough, basically. You're not good enough. So it's like, no matter what you do as a kid, they're always at you. They're always trying to manipulate you. When you're a child, it's hard. It's hard because if you're a child, let's say you're 7 years old, right? You're dependent upon your parents. They've put a roof over your head, as they always say. Of course, that's great. They put food on the table. You can't work. You're very underdeveloped. They're the all-powerful people in your life when you're a kid. And if they're narcissistic, potentially you're going to get a feeling if you're not good enough, because no matter what you do, they're going to manipulate the children, and children are perfect to manipulate. It's sad, it's wrong. I'm not saying that's right, but that's what can happen. And a narcissistic person, if they're a parent with a child, they're going to, no matter what that kid does, it's never going to be good enough, so that you'll be jumping through hoops constantly. And it's going to affect your self-esteem growing up. It's going to affect your personal growth, your development growing up. That's where those feelings of low worth, low self-esteem can originate from, via that kind of traumatic upbringing. That could come from ridicule. They could be joking, laughing at the child's expense, which is awful. No matter what you do, it's never recognized. You're trying to impress them all the time. You're trying to do your best all the time, and it's not acknowledged. That type of thing can occur. Then obviously that can also, moving on to your you'll just mess it up. You'll just mess it up. You'll just fuck it up anyway, like I've said before. No matter what you do, if you've got a narcissistic parent and you've got a kid and they're trying, they've done sports day, they're wanting some recognition, they're wanting some approval, of course. They're wanting like a pat on the back. The kid's won a sports event, let's just say, or they've got a really good grade in maths or something. A narcissistic parent may not even recognize it, not even care about it, not even dismiss it, leaving the kid thinking, whatever, or they do something and then the narcissistic parent could potentially just say, you've not done that right, you've not done this right, that's not good enough. And if you're hearing that all the time growing up, that's going to create, of course, trauma, low self-worth. I'll move on. Another one is don't get too confident as a kid. I'm just going to, one moment, guys, I'm just going to put something else. Let me keep going. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought sometimes. I do my best. I'll go to what Sandra's just saying. It does sometimes, yes. I do love peace and stability now more than ever. And I try to invite it into my life more and more. That's really good, Sandra. It's loving that peace. I think as you get older, if you get older and wiser and you work on yourself, you just love that peace. You love that calmness. It can be very addictive. That's why some people end up enjoy being on their own. I completely get it. It's addictive. If you find calmness in the stillness, peace in the stillness, it can be very addictive. It's lovely, actually. There's a massive beauty in being at peace. A lot of healing with being at peace. It's not everyone's in that situation. If you can get your own apartment, your own place, then you can create that a lot easier than if you're a bit younger, you're living with parents, or you're just around toxic people all the time. It's a lot more difficult to find that peace, but it's still possible, Sandra. But that's a very good point. Thank you. So let's carry on with this narcissistic voice that you're going to parenting voice. Don't get too confident. They're going to put you down all the time. Potentially. They don't want you to be confident. They don't want you to rise up. They want to keep you down there. They want to be able to manipulate you, basically. So therefore, they don't want you confident. A narcissistic person doesn't like a truly confident person, especially if they're aware. Especially if they're an empath, like a super empath type of person. They fucking hate that because you can't control it. So they're going to keep you down. They're going to keep putting you down. Anytime you try and rise up, they'll kick you when you're down, basically. That keeps you easier to manipulate. So what's the voice in your head still telling you? Is the question. What's the voice in your head still telling you? What's your inner voice? Let me just write something here. What's your inner voice telling you right now? Let me just type this in. It's being aware of your thoughts. Now you can control them as well. Absolutely. And what's your inner voice telling you right now? So I'm going to move on, guys. I'm going to keep going the best I can. Let me just have a sip of coffee to keep me going. Anyone who's watching right now, my name is Brad, by the way. It's the Inspirational Ambivert channel. I go live as much as I can. I'm all about personal development. I'm all about growth. I'm all about talking about narcissistic upbringings. I'm all about talking about trauma. I talk a bit about addiction. I talk about just self-love, growth. That's what it's about. So, improving yourself, becoming aware, growing, spiritually growing, psychologically, just growing as a person, becoming more enlightened in a way, becoming away from that 3D type of life, three-dimensional. That's what That's what my channel's about. And I'm not an expert on everything, should I say. I do have a lot of experiences. I do have a lot of knowledge. I have a lot of wisdom. However, I don't know everything. I'm not a trained psychologist. I don't have a degree in that. I have a lot of knowledge about it, but I don't have a degree in it. I'm not a medical professional. Therefore, I'm not a doctor. I'm a nurse. I work as a nurse, a scrub nurse. But I don't know everything, and I don't pretend to know everything. However, I try and help people the best I can. That's what it's about. I believe that my role here on this earth is to be of service to people the best I can. So that's what my channel's about. Yeah, that's it. If you ever want to email me, you can do. So it's inspirational if you look at my channel, there's an email address, inspirationalambivert@outlook.com. And if you want to email me anytime, you can do. If you've got any issues, email me. I'll respond the best way I can. I can't always do it straight away because I work a lot, but I'll do the best I can for you. I'll help you the best I can. So there you go. That's just an opportunity for people, if they want it, of course. I like to cover a variety of topics. I don't want to talk about the same thing all the time, which might not help the algorithm with regards to YouTube, but I think it's good to have a variety of things. That's what life's about, in my opinion. That's my way of doing things. Of course, it's not perfect. I'm just going to have a little sip of coffee, and then I'm going to keep going. Okay. So the trauma response patterns, trauma response patterns. So you've experienced trauma growing up. It's going to impact you, how you interact within society. It's going to impact your your behaviours. It's going to impact your behaviours potentially. So you've got the fawning, haven't you, potentially going on. Fawning. What's fawning? I'll say it basically. Fawning is basically, it's like keeping the peace all the time. You could be the peacemaker within the family dynamic. And then being that peacemaker, you still do that in life. I do that. I don't like people arguing. I like people to get along. I like peace. I love peace. And sometimes that can result in fawning behavior. What's it going to look like, this fawning behavior? It's going to be, it's not, basically you're in a group dynamic and people will maybe be a bit rude and a bit nasty, but you'll just keep the peace. You won't stand up for yourself. Therefore, it could be seen as fawning. It could also, sometimes fawning can be being over complimentary to others, blowing smoke up their ass potentially. That could be seen that way. Therefore, it could be fawning. It's dimming your light as well. It's not being your best self. You're dimming your light so you don't upset the toxic people around you, potentially. Because those toxic people don't want you to do well. It makes them feel insecure. They're blinded by your light, so you dim your light. That's what can happen. Dimming your light, just to appease other people, could be referred to as fawning. I don't know if anyone's ever done that before. I certainly have. I sometimes unconsciously do it, but then I snap out of it thinking, I don't want to do this. I don't want to dim my light for others. No, don't want to do that. And that's not good. Anyway, I'll move on. Another one is freezing. So this is another trauma response. These are trauma response patterns I'm speaking about right now. Freezing. That's when the cortisol levels, fight or flight hormone has kicked in. Fight or flight, you know what that is. There's a threat. Therefore, this can cause fawning, what I've just said. There's a threat. Something bad's going to happen. Your body goes into freeze sometimes. It just goes numb. So someone can be really rude to you. They can be nasty to you and you don't know what to say. You just end up sat there really, really quiet. You're just frozen at that moment. That can occur as well. Another one is avoidance. Avoiding it. There's a big issue. Avoiding. This is another trauma response I'm talking about. You're avoiding the conversations, those hard conversations. You're avoiding, you know something's wrong. You know something's out of order. but you want to keep the peace. This is your trauma response. So you avoid it, you ignore it, you brush it under the carpet. How many family dynamics do that? You're brushing everything under the carpet. You don't want to talk about it. You just ignore it. You change subject, whatever you do. That's avoidance. But the bad situation is still there, though. The bad situation is still there. It's still apparent. But you're avoiding it. You're ignoring it. That can occur as well. I'll move on. Another one is overthinking. Overthinking, worrying about things, overanalyzing it. They just worry. You can't sleep at night. You're overthinking everything. Sometimes it can also, this is a trauma response as well. It can make you, I do this sometimes as well, by the way. I overthink things. So someone will ask me a question and I'll overthink it, and I'll doubt my answer sometimes. I'll overthink it. I'll overcomplicate it. I'll think of loads of different things in my head, and I'll know the answer. But I suppose that's lack of confidence in my own decision making to an extent. That can be a sign of overthinking, of course. And move on. Next one is perfectionism. One moment, sip of tea. Perfectionism. Do I have perfectionism? Yes, to an extent. I'm really hard on myself. Yes. I try to do things in a certain way as well as I can. And that, even though it's not perfect, but I have a perfectionist mindset sometimes, meaning that you're just really hard on yourself. And if you don't get it to your high standard, if I don't get something to a certain high standard, I'll beat myself up. That's a sign of perfectionism as well. But this is often, it's a sign of that trauma response. And these behaviors, all these behaviors, right, they're coming from a time when you were young. A time when you were young, and you've learned these behaviors through your upbringing potentially, and then you're carrying them forward into your adult life. Sorry, I'm having a sip of tea. That's what can happen, of course. Anyway, I'm just going to have a little sip. Sorry, guys, just having a little rest. It's all good. So I'm going to move on. So I've just spoken about the trauma patterns. I'm going to move on. The best way I can is fear of being seen. Like fear of being seen. When you grew up with the criticism, being visible can feel dangerous. So when you've been around a family dynamic where you're being criticized for everything that you do, you're walking on eggshells that are already broken, you're getting beaten with a stick, no matter what you fucking do, criticized, put down, berated, laughed at, ignored, and this is your normal, and you've been brought up with that. And sometimes this can be a little bit of that or lots of that, depends on the person, depends on the upbringing. It's very complex, I get it. That's gonna make you feel like you want to be invisible in situations. You don't like it. It's like, if I'm ever heard, if I'm ever visible, if I'm ever seen, then I'm going to get beaten with a stick for it. And therefore, that can make you, in future scenarios, because you're so used to being criticized, you're so used to being beaten with a stick, it can make you feel like, I want to be invisible. I don't want to be visible. I want to hide off in the background. I want to hide away. Therefore, because you'll develop behaviors. Sorry, trying to get the words out the best I can. You're going to develop behaviors that make you want to feel like you're invisible sometimes, because you feel safer being invisible, but therefore you're missing out on opportunities, missing out on life, I suppose. That's a trauma response as well. Of course it is, especially being brought up in a mad where you're getting berated and criticized all the time, like I've just said. And sometimes what this is leads to, self-sabotage can feel like protection for some people, which is what we're talking about, of course. Self-sabotage feels like protection. You're protecting yourself from failure because you're not even trying, not even doing anything. You're not putting yourself into situations that are you could fail, you could fall flat on your face. You're not putting yourself in, you're becoming invisible, you're becoming smaller, you're dimming your light so that you don't get criticized, that you don't feel those things that you felt when you was younger. And self-sabotage. Self-sabotage. Not, you're preventing your own growth in a way. And I get why people do it. I get why people do it. I've done it myself, of course. So that's that. That's that, basically. One moment. Let me just refer to my notes a moment. Sandra's saying, okay, Sandra, my inner voice is telling me that I'm most definitely not fully living the life I want. Yeah, okay. The inner voice is. So what's that going to look like, Sandra? I'll ask you a question. You don't have to answer if you don't want. What does that look like? Why? How do you know that is the question. Your inner voice is telling me I'm definitely not living the life I want. I'm really sorry that you're not living the life you fully want. That's half of the battle. It's knowing that, you know what, this isn't completely for me. How are you going to change that? What's the life that you want? What is it? Do you know what it is? I suppose it's acknowledging, oh, this isn't the life I want. And then that's half the battle. At least you're aware of that. And then you think, right, what do I actually want? What do I actually want? And that's a big question as well. Sometimes I've asked myself that, thinking, what do I actually want in my life? And I didn't even know. For years, it used to frustrate the hell out of me, thinking, I don't even know what the fuck I want to do. And it's really difficult. It's shrinking yourself and dimming your light. Yeah. And what's that going to look like within a workplace, let's say? It's you. If you shine your light, what's going to happen if you're around a few toxic people at your workplace, they're going to try and put you down, by the way. They're going to ridicule you. They're going to maybe ignore you. Being shunned is a big one as well. It's like you've got a group of people, they're all laughing and joking and friendly with each other, but they don't speak to you. They just ignore you. That can happen. And that can sometimes be because of you shining your light too brightly, potentially. Sorry, I'm just having a sip of tea. The ideal place to be is just being your best self and then having the self-worth, you know, I just thinking, I don't care what you think about me anymore. It's okay. I love myself enough. I think that's a good place to be, of course. Sorry, guys, I'm just having a sip of tea. Sorry about the drinking. The slurping noises there. Okay. I'll move on in a moment. Just write my times in. That's it. So let's look at let me just ask this question to whoever's watching. It's all good, man. I'm doing the best I can. Ways you might be ruining good things. I'll ask it as a question. How can you ruin good things in your life is the question. How can you ruin good things in your life? I'll leave that there for a moment. Right. How can you ruin good things in your life? Let me talk about those things. Sandra's saying, because I know what I need to do, but I'm postponing doing it. Procrastination. Absolutely. You know what you need to do. You know it's important, but you just don't. Sandra'd like to be her own boss. Working for someone else doesn't do it for me. I would like to be able to choose the people I surround myself with more. Okay, that's what you want. Along these kind of lines, Brad. Okay, Sandy, yeah, I get it. You'd like to be your own boss. So what I see things as, in my opinion, I work full-time as a scrub nurse, right? Okay. It gives me a stable income. There's always work. I have access to sick pay, etc. It's comfortable in that way. But it allows you, that gives you the income to maintain your lifestyle at this moment in time, which you need income to keep going. So it's good to have a job sometimes in a way for a while. But then you've got to think, right, how the fuck am I going to get out of this box? You're in a box potentially. When you work, you're boxed in with a job, with a normal job. Let's say you're working for a corporation. You're working for the NHS. Doesn't matter who you're working for. You're boxed in a way. There's only so much you earn based on the responsibilities that you have. The job role that you have will only pay you so much within a work environment. That's the downside. No matter how fucking good you are, you're still getting paid the same. But you've got the stable income, you've got the sick pay, you've got the holiday pay, you've got the, let's say, the pension pot. These are things to keep you there. But obviously, like Sam was saying, I'm not happy. I want to be my own boss. So you have to, okay, that's what you want. You have to begin something. You have to start something. No matter how small, just start something and keep turning up for that little thing. Even if it's just an hour a week to begin with. It could be like I'm doing here. I turn up on here and I'm speaking the best I can about things that I'm trying to help people, etc., etc. I'm trying to create my own business, trying to create my own. I've got my own channel. I've got a structure to that channel. I keep turning up. I'm consistent with it. Has it manifested money, etc.? No, it hasn't. But I've started the habit of something. I'm working. I'm creating something. This is what my channel is. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm very, very grateful for that. And that can be the beginning of, this is just one example, beginning of becoming your own boss. You just got to choose something and go with it. And let's see how it goes for a few months. If you feel like it's growing, keep doing it. If you feel like it's not working, you think, oh, I'll adapt or try something else. But it's having that, basically, it's all about habits. Having the habits of keeping the habit up of turning up, keeping the habit up of keep going. And then hopefully become your own boss. Then hopefully you have your own business. Then you start to earn some money. Sandra, I'm just trying to respond the best I can there. And then you can be around the people that you want to be around with more, of course. Is this going to be easy? No. Is it going to take time? Yes. It's going to take a lot of effort. Yes. And the problem is when you're working in for a corporation, for example, how am I going to word this the best I can, Sander? When you're working for a corporation, it takes up a lot. You're working full time. It's going to take up a lot of your energy and time. And then you're thinking, oh my God, I'm tired. I don't want to do anymore. I'm knackered. Which is what keeps you in that box, which stops you from becoming your own boss. So you have to find some time and you have to push. You have to push. But you start small, but you think, I'm turning up every Saturday. I'm going to do 3 hours on. I'm going to work 3 hours on this every single week. I'm going to put a fucking selected time into working on this. That's the beginnings of it. But you have to find time and you have to push and you have to find the energy to do that. Is it easy? No, because most people don't do it. That's why most people don't do it. But you've got to begin. To begin something. So let's start with, let me crack on. So now, this is, how can you ruin good things in your life? Okay, let me crack on with this. Which of these hits hardest, by the way? Has anyone ruined the good things in their life? Comment below if you have, okay? So overthinking until you freeze. So overthinking, you're worried. You're doing something, you're applying for a job, you're overthinking it, you're in an interview and they're asking you questions and you're like, you know the answers, but your nervous system's so highly strung, you're so worried and you're overthinking, you just freeze and you don't know what to say. I've done it. I've done it. That overthinking can mess you up potentially. It's just that anxiety, isn't it? And the emotional charge of that overthinking can be very powerful, potentially. I'll move on. Another way is how can you bring good things in your life? Pushing away people who actually care about you. Pushing people away. That can be done, absolutely. Has anyone ever pushed people away that actually care about them? You push them away with your behaviour sometimes. Some people can push people away because they're too. Imagine someone who's got, let's say, bad coping mechanisms with the trauma. They're taking drugs or they're drinking too much, and the addiction takes over them, basically. So the number one priority in life is drinking. The number one priority in life is just taking drugs. And that can push good people away. Because they're using that addiction as a crutch, and they're a slave, and therefore some people end up as a slave. It happens to a lot of people. I've done it myself, being a slave to their addictions. And then that can push good people away. Or that's the saying as well, you can't give a helping hand to a closed fist. You can't give a helping hand to a closed fist, no matter how good the help is. So someone's trying to help you, but you're too stubborn, you're too hurt, you're too damaged, and you're like, no, I don't want your help. You refuse to help. That can happen as well. Absolutely. These are all basically trauma responses, aren't they, to that have come from narcissistic abuse, potentially. I'll move on. Choosing toxic partners. This can fuck your life up big time. I'm telling you now, this can mess your life up big time. I'll just go to the comments a moment. Sandra says, thanks, Brad. No worries, Sandra. I hope you're the best I can. Hi, Tanner. Oh, good to have you with us again, Tanner. I hope you're okay. I'm saying hello back. Hope you're all right. Hope life's going well for you. Sorry, let's have a little sip of water. So yeah, choosing toxic partners, man. I've done it when I was younger, and I wouldn't be at one point in my life, because I was a bit messed up myself at the time, especially in my 20s. I wouldn't be attracted to, let's say, someone who's got stability in their life. I wouldn't be interested in that type of person. I wouldn't go anywhere near them. Anyone who's healthy and like calm and working on themselves, I didn't want to know. I wanted the crazy girls, you know, the crazy. I was after, because I was crazy. I was a little bit crazy myself. I was taking drugs myself. I was in and around seshing and clubbing and drugs and things like that. I was attracted to people that were into those things, into those habits. I was in that world, if you get what I'm saying. I'm not saying that's a good world to be in, but I wasn't interested in it. I'd find other. If someone had stability, they were working and they were just, I find them boring. I used to find people that were healed boring, which is not good. I'm not saying it's good, but that's what I used to be attracted to. Yeah, it's not good. So you're choosing toxic partners though. And what a lot of time can happen as well is, if you've grown up in you've had a toxic upbringing, you're around a lot of craziness, etc., etc., and that's all you know, you're going to be attracted to people that have those behaviors as well. You're going to be attracted to those people. Happens a lot. That's what a lot of the time. Let's just give an example. Let's say you've got a teenage girl. She's 18, whatever, young woman, and she's not interested in the healthy guy. She's not interested in the guy that's got his life sorted. She wants the guy that's selling drugs. She wants the guy that's a bit of a dickhead. They attract some women and some men. Let's go. Well, it's both ways, of course. They're just drawn like a moth to a flame to the toxic people, like a moth to a flame. And what does a moth to keep doing? If it doesn't work on itself, that moth is going to keep going back and back and back. And every time a moth to a flame, it's getting burnt. It's getting burnt. It's getting burnt. Moth to a flame over and over and over again. Some people do that all their lives, which is not good. If you don't work on yourself, that's the end. That's the result. That's going to cost you big time. It's like you're not learning the lesson. But some people are just attracted to certain people because they've got a hole in themselves. They've got trauma in themselves, let's say. Anyway, I'll move on the best I can. it could be a self-fulfilling prophecy. A self-fulfilling prophecy about how you could be ruining good things in your life. Basically, I'm not enough. That kind of thinking. I'm not saying that's a good way to think, but that's what can occur. I'm not good enough. I'm shit anyway. I'm no good, me. Have that negative self-talk. I'm not a really good example of this is that when someone asks you, how are you doing? How are you doing, Brad? And you go, I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. It's not a good sentence, is it? Could replace it with, I'm good, thanks. I'm good, thanks. Instead of, not too bad. Another one is, this is sarcasm, is, how are you doing? Oh, I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream. Like, as people, when people say that, obviously living the dream, if you take it literally, it could mean something positive. But a lot of, I find some people answer, how are you doing with, I'm living the dream. But it's like, it's almost like it's sarcasm. It's like, life's shit. I'm living the dream. This is shit. And that's all, that's the how they verbalize things. I think that could be maybe linked to I'm not enough, life rubbish, that kind of thinking. It's not positive, is it? And that self-fulfilling prophecy as well is like, I'm not enough. I can only do these things. I'm only limited this. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good looking enough. I'm not charismatic enough. And having that thought process all your life is just going to miss out. It's self-sabotage big time, isn't it? You're ruining good things in your life by thinking like that. I understand why people do. I've done it myself. I still have those thoughts occasionally too. I do still have those thoughts occasionally too. This exposes this big time. It's like how many people are watching. If I just focus on the numbers, which I don't, I'm not doing that now. I'm not focusing on the numbers. I'm just focusing on anyone that's here. I'm focusing on them. That's all I'm focusing on. But if I focus on the numbers too much, that could easily trigger I'm not enough, big time. But I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to go with the flow. I'll move on, guys. Another way, this is a big one in my opinion. Another way that you can ruin good things in your life is picking fights. Picking fights. And what's that going to look like? Some people, they pick fights with others. They're ruining good things. They can't, they're so used, some people are just used to the chaos. That's their comfort zone. They like the chaos. And if it gets calm, as soon as it gets bloody calm, they don't like it. So they'll pick fights. They need they'll criticize somebody else. They'll be rude to someone else. Basically, they're prodding them, poking them, they're picking a fight. And then the other person responds. They go, oh, what are you doing that for? Perfect for them. They love it. They're addicted to the chaos. They're addicted to the adrenaline rush that she's gained through the fights, let's say, through picking the fights. And that's how they operate in life, picking fights. They need a protagonist in this situation. So they'll be the protagonist to begin with. They'll pick the fight to begin with. Then the person will respond, of course. They'll be angry at them. Then they'll play the victim. And that's how some people operate. They pick fights. They create chaos. And they operate, I've seen it. I see it almost daily at work. I see some people that do this. And they're addicted to the adrenaline gained from arguing with others. And ideally in their world, they want to win the argument. That makes them feel good. It makes them feel good. I'll pick a fight, I'll start something, I'll piss them off, we'll have an argument, and then I'll come out on top. That's what they want ideally sometimes. I'm addicted to the hormones. Addicted to the hormones. We're all hormone monster, innit, I suppose. I'm addicted to the adrenaline kick, the adrenaline, the feeling of winning that argument. That's what happens, man. Therefore, picking bloody fights. Could it ruin your life, though? Yeah, big time. There's a consequence for that. You might win the fight, but you could lose. You're losing connections. You're losing in a lot of ways if you're doing that type of thing. You're ruining good things in your life if you're going to behave that way, in my opinion. So, yeah, let me carry on. I'm doing the best I can. Sandra says, Tanner says, thanks a lot. And Sandra says, hi to Tanner. I'll go through the comments the best I can. Quitting when things get better is the next way you could ruin your life potentially. Let me just read, I'll read what Tanner just written, Right, Tanner saying, we need to develop self-defense mechanisms to get along well with unexpected, challenging, stressful events. Very wisely said there, Tanner. I am just going to pin that comment. There we go. So we need to develop self-defense mechanisms. Yeah, we do. I'll talk about those soon. You're absolutely right, Tanner. What would be, I'll ask you a question. You don't have to answer it, by the way. What would be what would be your preferred self-defense mechanism with regards to that, Tanner, is the question. But you don't need to answer. Don't want to put you under pressure. Yeah, it's good to have those tools. You need them in life, man, because you're going to come across challenging people. You're going to come across people that don't work on themselves. You're going to come across cruelty is how a coward cries when they're not on their own. I'll say it again because I love this saying. Cruelty is how a coward cries when they're not on their own. So some people who've got trauma, they take it out on others. They're going to take it out on you, out and about in society. And you definitely, like Tanner's just said, you need that you need those mechanisms, you need those strategies, you need those tools, whatever you want to fucking call them, to be able to stick up for yourself, to put boundaries in place. You have to protect your energy, you have to protect yourself, you have to stick up for yourself, you have to show your teeth sometimes in society, in the world, I believe. But all the while maintaining your own dignity and your own integrity, etc. You don't want to become the monster, do you? But you still need to stick. I suppose you need to become like a controlled monster in a way to deal with the challenges of life, to deal with other people's aggressions towards you, is what I'm thinking. I'll keep going, but if any more comments come, I'll respond to them, of course. So quitting when things get better. So that's self-sabotage, big time. It's like you do well at your job. This is the basic version. You're doing really well. You're really good. You're really, really good at your job. You've done it for 5 years. You're brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The boss thinks you're great. You've got a good boss. They think you're great. They want to promote you. They almost hand it to you on a plate. And then you just think, do you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not bothering taking that promotion. Or you're single, for example, and you're doing really well in life. You're healthy and you want a partner, but you're a bit insecure or whatever. You're scared of rejection. Then someone really nice comes along. They really like you. You like them, but then you just block it off. You don't take the opportunity for that relationship. You jeopardize it. You self-sabotage that potential relationship. There can be signs of how you could be ruining good things in your life. This is done consciously and unconsciously. Of course, depends on the person, depends on the situation, doesn't it? Another one, this is a big one for me, is downplaying your fucking talents. Downplaying them. Sometimes it's good not to be you don't want to be too arrogant. You don't want to be too show-offy. I get it. But you just, you're dimming your light sometimes. You downplay your talents too much. You feel like if you do tell people about yourself, you feel like you're showing off too much. You shouldn't downplay your talents, man. You shouldn't. I need to tell myself this because I do it myself. We all have a lot of abilities, etc., etc. I do too. A lot of people don't know I do this. They don't. I don't tell people within my environment, within the demographics that I live in. I don't tell people how to do this. Tanner's saying, despite any stressful event, being able to stay sensible is an example. Yeah, that's the power of being calm, isn't it? Being sensible, having the emotional maturity and the emotional strength, in my opinion, is if you can deal with stressful situations in a calm manner, that's a massive. Being calm is a superpower, basically, Tanner, in my opinion. Being calm, especially in a stressful event, that means you're fucking solid, in my opinion. It's maintaining your composure, isn't it? Sometimes you have to take a mental step back, don't you? Imagine this shit going on, it's going crazy. Then you just situational awareness sometimes. You just take a step back mentally, not physically, but you're in the room, take a step back and you scan the room, you look around the room, what's going on? Situational awareness, big thing. And sometimes it could, how are you going to help? It could be stressful. You feel the stress inside yourself. It's being aware, oh, I'm getting stressed now. I'm going to do a few deep breaths. It's okay. And another one is, I suppose, to help with, to achieve this being sensible, like Tanner's just mentioned, it's just, how are you going to achieve it? It's just thinking, think to yourself, you know what? I've dealt with this shit before. I've seen this kind of situation before. I've seen this craziness before. I know what to do. I've got experience. I've got experience. I've got confidence. Experience and confidence are linked. So I've dealt with this shit before. I know what to do. And that can help you stay sensible, in my opinion, can help you stay logical in that situation instead of emotional in that situation. If you ever have, let's say, a disagreement with somebody, and whoever's the most angry in that situation has lost the argument, in my opinion. The person who's sensible, the person who's logical, the person who is calm is the one that's in control. Even though the person who is, let's say we've got having a debate, argument or whatever, disagreement, the person that's arguing, that's shouting, they might sound the loudest. Of course, they're going to sound the loudest in that situation. But the person who's calm, who's collected, is in control. Therefore, being sensible, smart, being logical, smart, being calm, that's where you want to be, man. That is the Tanner, that's where you want to be in life. That's a higher frequency, basically. High frequency, yes. More peaceful frequency, a calmer, peaceful. Yeah, it just feels a lot better. That's the ideal, Tanner. Of course, if you're human, you're not always going to achieve that, in my opinion. If you can, fair play, absolutely. You're mastering your life then, aren't you? But it's getting more towards that, Tanner, absolutely. That's the ideal. I'll keep going with what I was saying anyway. So downplaying your talents, man. Like, this can really ruin your life. Like you're going for the job, you're really good at what you do, but then you just don't feel like you're good enough. You feel like everyone's better than you. And maybe they are better than you in some ways, but you'll have skills and abilities as well. You shouldn't downplay yourself. Appreciate yourself, man. Appreciate your fucking self. Appreciate what you're good at. Appreciate what you're good at. Don't feel bad about giving yourself a pat on the back. Love yourself, man. Love yourself. That's what it's all about. I know it's easier said than done. And I've messed up with some of these things too, by the way. I'm talking about these things now, but I'm also working on myself during this process. This is not... I think it's a lifelong process, especially if you've experienced trauma or you've got insecurities. It's just topping it up. It's all about consistency. And I keep saying this, and I'll carry on saying this, a lot of the wisdoms are very, very, they're not highly intellectual. You don't need to be you don't have to be a brain surgeon to fucking understand the basic wisdoms of life. You don't have to be smart intellectually. But these wisdoms, we know them, but we forget them on a daily basis. And we've got to keep reminding ourselves. Well, I do anyway. I don't know about you guys, but I do. I'll move on. Another one is with regards to ruining your life, good things in your life. The last one of this topic, I'll carry on, of course. I'm starting strong and quitting quickly. Starting strong, start something. You're really excited. You've got a new project. You've got a business idea. You're full of hopes and aspirations. This happens on YouTube a fucking lot. This is why a lot of people fail on YouTube, by the way. They begin something. They're starting strong as hell. They're doing really fucking well or whatever they're doing. And they've got lots of dreams of whether to become a YouTuber and they're going to become monetized. That can happen. A lot of people quit this before 6 months. YouTubing, I'm telling you now, they don't last 6 months because they start strong and then they stop. They just stop. It could be because of the numbers. They could become burnt out. There's a lot of reasons for that. I think it's about 6% of YouTubers actually become monetized. Most don't. I'm not monetized right now. What keeps me going? How long have I been going for now? 11 months I've been going. I've got 207 subscribers as of today. A lot of people would have quit. I put time, energy, and money into this. I'm not saying woe is me, by the way. I love doing this. I absolutely love doing this. That's what keeps me going. I love doing this. I feel like this is my purpose, is to help people become more aware, become high vibrational, more high vibrational. I love doing this. I absolutely love doing this. And I'm going to continue doing this. This keeps me going. But what a lot of people do, they look at the numbers, they make 1 or 2 videos, they expect to blow up, which is not realistic a lot of the time. And then also another one is comparison is the thief of joy. So they compare themselves against other people that have not been going for as long as them. They've got more subscribers or whatever. And then they just give up. So they start strong and then they quit. They quit. And there's that saying as well, isn't there? You begin something really strong, right? And then the valley of despair I'm talking about, the valley of fucking despair. I'm sure you've seen it. A lot of you might have seen it. You start really strong, you're doing really well, and then you get a couple of problems. You're thinking, oh, not that easy, this. Oh, shit. But I'll keep going anyway. And then it gets even worse. And then your viewings go down or whatever it is. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't realize it was this hard. Oh my God, I've hit the valley of despair. You're going to hit the valley of despair if you start something. I've done it, trust me. And you're like, oh my God, what's the point? What's the point of me even, I'm trying really hard and getting nowhere. And a lot of people quit. They quit then. They quit then. And then what they do sometimes, they get another group. They might have the best idea in the world. Dragon's Den. Let's think about that. The best fucking idea in the world. And then they start something else. And again, they start really strong. Fucking up for it. They're going for it. And then again, they hit the valley of despair. After 6 months or less, it gets really hard and they quit. And then that's what they keep doing. You don't want to end up being that person. Tanner's saying consistency is a must to live a happy life. Fucking bang on. Bang on, Tanner. Thank you. That's bang on. Consistency is key. Habits are key. My channel's name's Inspirational Ambivert. Like I try to inspire others. Inspiring, if you inspire someone, it's the spark. It's the beginning. I've inspired something. I'm inspired to do this. I'm inspired to do that. Great. But consistency is much more important than the inspiration, let's say. Definitely. Absolutely. You just need that consistency. Or let's rephrase it as just the habits. The habit is, I've got a habit of turning up doing this. This is my habit. My Sunday morning habit is doing this. Or going to the gym or whatever it fucking is. It's consistency is key. All you need is a little bit of inspiration and a lot of consistency and you can do anything. You can do anything. It's easy said than done, of course. Hi, Dawn. How are you? Yeah, are you tired is the question. It sounds like I mentioned, sorry, I'm changing topic a little bit here. Dawn, you mentioned about, I hope you're okay, by the way. You said you were dealing with 20 horses to me yesterday. That sounds like a lot of work, a hell of a lot of work. I hope that you got a good night's sleep last night. And I hope that you're okay. So yeah, as I was saying, I'll just end with that. Starting strong and quitting quickly. That's what can happen. And then you just don't end up doing anything. I've done it myself. I've got a friend who was like that. He'd get really excited about things and he'd want to change his life. He used to take drugs as well. It got the better of him, unfortunately, this person. But he wanted to get away from it. He wanted to get away from everything. And he'd get really excited about this new, like, mountain biking. He'd get really into it and really excited about it. And he'd start really strong with things. And therefore, it was really positive because he was trying to come away from taking drugs and things that weren't good for him, let's say. But then he'd just go back to the old habits. And that's how he lived his life a lot of the time, to put it mildly. Anyway. Dawn saying it feels like 20, but it's actually 7. Still a lot of horses, that, Dawn. Bloody hell. I don't have a clue what to do with horses. Absolutely no idea. I can imagine mucking out is very, very challenging. A lot labour intensive. It feels like 20, but it's actually 7. Still a lot though, Dawn. A lot of people can't do that. They have no idea what to do. Hi, Abigail. Abigail loves music. Hi to Abigail. How are you, Abigail? I hope you're okay. My name's Brad, by the way. This is the Inspirational Ambivert channel. I hope you're okay. So I'm going to move on in a moment. Sandy says hi to Abigail. Right, so one moment. Sorry, guys. I'm writing the times down. 1-4. I just write the times down. Okay, I'm going to move on in a moment. I'll respond to the comments as well, of course. Dawn says hi to Sander, also to Abigail. Abigail, you're only here for a chit chat. Do you know what? I respect Abigail. Thank you. I respect your honesty. Absolutely. Go for it. Go for it. I'll respond the best I can to you, Abigail. And that's good. It's good to talk, as they say. Good to talk. I'm going to be moving on in a moment. I'm going to be talking about trauma bonds and old patterns in a moment. 1 second. Sorry. I've got my notes here as well, of course, as I always have. I'll ask a question to the group before I begin, and then I'll respond to the comments. I usually, with my lives, I like to talk about the content talk about the topic that I'm on about, and I also like to respond to you guys as well. I flip between the two. So therefore, talking about content and then going towards what people talk about. The comments are really good. The comments are great, man. The engagement is great. And it's not, I'm the one speaking, of course, in this situation, but a lot of people have a lot of different insights than I have. I believe there's nothing worse than being surrounded by yes men. And what does that mean? If you've only got one opinion and one brain, let's say, and everyone just follows that person to the T, like a dictatorship, then you've only got one brain. It's better to have 10 minds or 20 minds, different perspectives, different opinions. I think that's a good way to be. And also, you can't always be right all the time. And also, we'll carry on, not every situation is the same for everybody. A collective consciousness is better, in my opinion. Have you ever chosen someone who felt familiar, is my question. I'm just typing something in. Actually, I'll just rephrase it. Have you ever chosen someone who's, one moment. Have you ever chosen someone who's unhealthy for you, basically, but familiar? I can't put all the words in, unfortunately. It won't allow me to. Let me just move that. We'll get there eventually. Sorry, it's a bit crooked. Guys, I'm just going to be literally 1 minute. Please give me 1 minute. I'll be back. One moment, please, and I'll crack on.
Sorry about that, guys. I apologise. Sorry. Anyone's still there, hopefully. Sorry about that.
Let me go to the comments. Sorry, guys. I'll get there eventually. Right, I'll go to the comments quickly. Sorry, guys, I'm just going back to the comments. I'll be there in a moment. So, Abigail says she's only here for the chit chat. Sorry, I'm a bit behind, aren't I? Sorry, Abigail. Sandra says hi to Dawn. And then Dawn says, I'm not getting notifications to your channel anymore. YouTube, bloody hell. I'm really sorry, Dawn. I don't know why that occurs. I'll try and look into it. Have you tapped on the notification button is the question. You probably already have, I'm assuming. I'll have to look into it. I don't know the answer right now. YouTube can be a bit funny sometimes, but not in a good way. Does bullying count as trauma? Yeah, big time, Abigail. Bullying, yeah, it really does. I think most people experience it at some point in their life, Abigail, by the way. It's a shitty part of, it can be a shit part of life. It happens. Oh, guess what, Abigail, as well. I don't know how old you are. Sorry, but it does also occur in adult life as well. People think, oh, bullying's going to stop when I'm an adult. No, it doesn't. Peer pressure. You think, oh, peer pressure is going to stop as well. No, it's not. It happens in adult life. However, in my opinion, it can make you stronger. It's not easy. It's really difficult. I've experienced it. It has it. But if you come out the other end of it, Abigail, it can make you solid. It can make you a strong person. Is it easy? No, it's not. Dawn says, absolutely, Abigail, absolutely. With regards to, does it count as trauma? Yeah, of course it does. You've been bullied in school. I'm really sorry, Abigail. Dawn saying, oh, that's awful. I was bullied at school too. Have you told someone? Abigail then says, yeah, my mum and my teacher and my favourite streamer since we were close in age. Oh, it's good that you've shared it. That's great, Abigail, by the way. Dawn's asking, are they helping you? Abigail's then saying, yes, my ex-boyfriend was unhealthy. So you've experienced these things, Abigail, by the sounds of it. Your mum says you can stay off school. Abigail saying, and my favourite streamer says that I should just ignore them. That can help in some situations. My teacher says they ain't good for that. They're not good for that. So I'm just going with the comments for now, guys. Is anyone here Irish, by the way? No, I'm not. Sorry, sorry, no. I'm assuming. Are you from? I'm guessing, Abigail. Are you from America? Because you said mom. Mom. I can't say that properly. It's like the American way of saying mum, isn't it? I'm assuming. Are you from America? Are you from the States? I'm guessing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I'm just guessing. No, I'm not Irish. I'm English. Dawn is Scottish. Dawn saying that's good. It's very hard being bullied, but you have to remember it's not your fault and there's nothing wrong with you. The people bullying others are often very insecure. Yeah, they are. I'll say this, Abigail. I've said it before. Cruelty is how a coward cries when they're not on their own. So that's a saying. Cruelty is how a coward cries when they're not on their own. It's their way of, they hate themselves and the bullying helps them to feel better, which is not good. It's not right, but that's the basics of it. And what a lot of people do is they are bullied and they become the bully. And that's what some people choose. They choose the easy path in a way, which is not the good path. And then some people become adult bullies. That's how they just stay like that. It's not good. It's not good. Often very insecure. Yes, Dawn, you're right. And Dawn saying they're trying to make themselves feel better by bringing other people down, and that's not healthy or normal. No, it's not. Yeah, they build themselves up on the back of other people. It affects them later in life, by the way. You think that they're winning when you're younger. You think that they're all powerful and they're all controlling, but it catches up with them. It catches up with them. Yeah, they made me feel insecure once, but now I'm better. Good for you, Abigail. Good for you. That's great to hear. Yeah, they're trying to pass on their insecurity. It's like, oh, I've got loads of insecurities. Do you want them? I'm going to give you my insecurities. Here you go. Transferred via the bullying potentially. And it's like saying, no, I don't want to accept that. I don't want you. They're giving it as kind of like a really bad gift, isn't it? A shit gift. It's like, no, I don't want that gift. That's your shit. That's your insecurity, not mine. Type of thinking. Dawn saying she's glad that she's glad, of course. And Abigail saying love the horse, by the way. Yeah. Dawn lives in, sorry, speaking for you there, Dawn. She lives near Edinburgh, in Edinburgh and around Edinburgh, and she works with horses. A lot of people, yeah, that's great. Lives in nature. Is surrounded by nature. Abigail said, it's okay, Brad. No worry. Oh, okay, no worries. Don't let them ruin your confidence, Dawn is saying. Learn about why bully people online. It's so interesting to learn. These lessons, they're fucking hard. They're horrible. They're hard. They are. It's painful. It's not nice. It's difficult. It's challenging. However, through the suffering that you will experience in life, you will suffer in life. It's part of life. You are going to, it's a growth potential in that. And being forewarned is forearmed. Learning about why they do it, reading about it, talking about it, discussing it, understanding it. That's these. If you learn those things, it helps you to get through those things. How do I know? Because I've done it. I've been terrorized at one point in my life. I got absolutely bullied really badly for about 2 years. Looking back though, it's made me who I am. It's made me who I am. And it's made me stronger. And I'm thankfully, I'm really grateful that I've not become the bully. That means I've failed. If I'm bullied and I become the bully, I'd feel like I'd failed as a person. I don't think that's a good way to be. You don't want to become that person. You don't want to become that bad person. That's what some people do though. And why do they do that? Some people become bullies, don't they? Because they think that's the best way to be. Like, oh, my parents have bullied me, so the only way to beat the bully is become the bully. That's their thinking. That's not right, but that's what happens. Anyway, Abigail's then saying, yeah, exactly, no problem. I'm a vegetarian because the thought of animals getting killed terrifies me. I hope your horse is getting treated well. Yeah, the horse. Sorry, Dawn will answer that question. I won't answer. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to answer for you, Dawn. Sorry, I shouldn't do that. Abigail saying, I'm 12. Are you from Ireland then, Abigail? Seemed very wise for a 12-year-old, by the way. Abigail says, it's okay, no problem. You're Irish. Sorry, I was completely wrong, Abigail. Forgive me. I was completely wrong. Sorry. Yorick saying, hello. Hi, Yorick. How are you? How's life? Hope you're okay. Yorick saying, I met a girl online once, dating, and she was very paranoid, checking my phone always. Wow, doesn't trust. Probably been that can happen when people have been burnt before. They've been cheated on, and therefore they have that mistrust of others. That's not a good place to be. If you're with someone and you're checking the phone, that's not a good place to be. Sometimes it's because they have behaviours that don't give you trust. Some people, you're around them, you just trust them. You can feel it. It feels good. It feels natural. You just trust them. They have the way they are, the way they behave. They just have the ooze integrity. They're great people, by the way. People that are like that. You just trust them because their actions match the words. However, if you meet someone where their actions don't match the words, what they say, their actions contradict what they're saying, that's when you can mistrust someone. However, sometimes it's not because of that mistrust, it's because of the individual, because they've been burnt before, they're insecure, they're paranoid, they've been burnt, basically. So therefore, they see threats everywhere all the time. That's what can lead to there's different scenarios with regards to what Yorick's just mentioned, by the way. So she's checking your phone always because she doesn't trust you, but she might not trust herself. She might not, sometimes because people don't trust themselves as well. Abigail saying, that's awful. My ex was the same. Abigail saying she subscribed. Thank you, Abigail. I really appreciate that. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thanks. Dawn saying, I chose all the unhealthy people to come to me. I'm a pushover. Yeah, I used to be that as well, Dawn. I used to be that. Yeah, it's like a flight. Sorry, it's not like a flight of shit. That's not a good terminology. It's like a magnet. You're a magnet to those types of people. Potentially, I've been there. I've done it. I'll go in with the comments the best I can. Yes, Abigail. Most of my animals are rescues. They don't have work. They don't have work. Sorry. Yes, Abigail. Most of my animals are rescue horses. Oh, it's amazing. A lot of horses can potentially get put down, can't they? I don't know too much about that, but it's really good that it's like a sanctuary a mini sanctuary for horses that Dawn set up, which I think is amazing. They don't have to work hard. They just live happily in fields with other horses and spend my money. That's lovely. That's lovely. Amazing. Oh, hi, Mr. Gold. How are you? Mr. Gold version 1. You changed your name a bit, Mr. Gold. How are you? I hope you're okay. There he is, spreading his gold blessings to all. Thank you, Mr. Gold. He's spreading his gold. He's a big spender, and he's spreading the gold. Hi, Mr. Gold. I hope you're okay. You're spreading light in your own way. And I'm going to say thank you. Thank you to Mr. Gold. I hope that you're okay, by the way. I hope you're doing well in life. I hope you're all right. So, I'm going to move on to the next topic. I'll get there eventually. I'll go with that. So, trauma bonds and old patterns. Trauma bonds and old patterns. So, what does that mean? Why old chaos can feel familiar. Old chaos. That old crazy. You've been brought up in a crazy situation. You're just used to, you've been born in the chaos. You're just used to the chaos. that crazy shit that's going on, the arguments that are going on, the kicking off that's going on, that's showing potentially that could be people's normal. They're used to it. They're used to people taking drugs and seshing. They're used to people falling out. They're used to people kicking off. And sometimes, though, how that's going to look is sometimes you think, oh, when people argue, it's okay to smash the house up. That's what you do. That's how you deal with it. That could be someone's normal. That's chaos. That's a familiar chaos. Oh, that's how you deal with things. Oh, right. So imagine you're a young man and your dad's narcissistic, potentially. Let's just say, just an example. And he's kicking. The way he deals with arguments is he smashes the house up. And do you think, oh, that's how you deal with arguments? You shout and you smash the room up. Or you see your parent being rude to your dad being rude to your mum or whatever, being nasty to your mum, and you think that's normal, that's okay, that's how man and woman operate. The man's just nasty to them. Or sometimes you grow up with a mum and dad and they split up, which happens a lot now, doesn't it? Happens a lot. It's like more of the norm, isn't it? Parents not staying together, and that can influence your relationships going with your own life, thinking, oh, people aren't meant to be together. They're not meant to stay together. They're meant to break up. That's it. And then you'll attract those things in your life. I'm saying this very vaguely, of course. And therefore, that can make you attract the chaos in your adult life. I'll keep going best I can. So choosing what you recognize, not what's healthy. Therefore, yeah, if you're attracted to these unhealthy situations, can occur, can't it? That can occur. Of course it can. Choosing what you recognize, not what's healthy. Yeah, I recognize. I know that crazy shit. That's a familiar. That's nice and comforting for me. I know it's fucked up. I know everyone's seshing. I know everyone's being rude to each other. I know everyone's cheating on each other. I'm used to people cheating on each other because that's all I've seen growing up. I'll have some more of that. And then what can happen sometimes is you'll meet, imagine you're single, right? And you've come across this perfect person, man or woman, doesn't matter. And they're really, really nice and really healthy. They've got their own business. They've got shit together. They're psychologically, they're a very healthy person. And a person who's got traumas is going to think, that's boring. Boring. Not attracted to it. Don't want to know. No bueno. Not going to do it. Not going to go nowhere near it. Even though that could potentially make their lives loads better, but they're not ready for it. So they go to the bad guy, the lovable rogue, let's say, the lovable rogue. That's a good example of one. The person who's not got the shit together, the person who's, they might have charisma, they might be charismatic, they might be charming, they might shine very brightly, they don't know where you stand with them. They're a bit mysterious, as they say. Let's go with that. They have a lot of charm, but it's all manipulation. 1 minute they're love bombing you, the next they're ignoring you. 1 minute they're love bombing you, telling you how great you are. The next minute they're just accusing you of this, accusing you of that, throwing you under the bridge. Whatever they're fucking doing, some crazy shit. You'll be attracted to that person, that unstable person, that person there's not a good future with. There's not a good future with them, but you'll be attracted to the spark, that little spark, that glimmer, that false. It's like a false. I don't know. It's just, you see something really shiny, but it's not really that shiny. It's not real. It sparks really brightly, but very on and off. And it's not, there's no stability there. But people want the spark, but they want it all the time. They want they want the honeymoon period, but they want it all the time. Some people want that. Honeymoon period is great, isn't it? Relationship, oh, everything's brand new. Everything's great. And they want that all the time, but it's not realistic. It's not sustainable. That can be an example of that. And an example of that. I'll move on in a moment to attachment wounds. I'm going to talk about attachment wounds quite a bit. I'll just go to the comments quickly. Mr. Gold saying, I chose someone that was unhealthy for me, but she wasn't golden enough. She wasn't a golden girl then, Mr. Gold. Golden Girl is probably your favourite programme, I'm guessing. Go with what we're talking about. Good old Golden Girls. They're experienced, aren't they, I suppose? Going with the gold content. Are they still alive? It's a question, the Golden Girls. Does anyone remember that program? I'm showing my age here. They were experienced, which is always great. Depends what. Sorry, I'll stop. Dawn says, "Yep, you can have that." Mr. Gold says, "Let's just have one bronze. Let's just say she was bronze and I was gold. It wasn't going to work. No, you don't want bronze. You don't want to come third place, do you, Mr. Gold?" I'm going with a joke here. Dawn's laughing. Dawn saying, "So true, Brad," in relation to what I was saying before. Dawn saying, "My brother is turning out very toxic. I only noticed last year. What? How is he showing signs of that? Why is he showing signs of that?" You said he was like the chosen child. I remember, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course. Mr. Gold saying, "Dawn, Golden isn't gold enough for you. Your brother." All right, okay. Sandra says hi to Mr. Gold. Say his name and he appears. Dawn said exactly 100%. He's going a bit brassy. He's going a bit brassy. Why? Please elaborate. I'm only catching up with the comments here, guys. Sandra's showing a shocked face. Mr. Gold saying, "Sandra, golden blessings to you too." I like that. Spreading light, Mr. Gold. Sandra's saying, "Greeting to Mr. Gold OG version." Sandra's saying, "You deserve a golden girl, Mr. Gold, LOL." Sandra's saying that she's cooking and listening. Lovely, lovely. Right, I'm going to talk about attachment wounds now. Attachment wounds. So what causes attachment wounds, okay? This is basically attachment wounds is why are some people attracted to people that aren't good for them? Because there's attachment wounds, okay? I'm referring to my notes as well, of course. Of course I am. Helps me to guide me with the content that I'm talking about. So childhood experiences, early disruptions in the bond between child and caregiver, neglect, abuse, and inconsistencies. So when you're growing up, there's disruptions to your development between your caregiver, your parents potentially. There's neglect. They're neglecting you potentially emotionally. Neglect can look at different ways. The neglect can be they neglect your emotional well-being. They neglect there's lots of different types of neglect, isn't there? And how it can appear. Abuse as well, putting you down. These childhood wounds can appear. Inconsistencies like showing love one day, then Jekyll and Hyde, then being horrible to you the next. It leaves a child confused. Another cause of attachment wounds is that you into your relationships as you're an adult, being an adult. I'm speaking the best I can. Betrayal, being cheated on. It can fuck you up. It fucked me up. Fucked me up big time. Rejection, betrayal. Can make you feel mistrust towards women or vice versa. It doesn't matter which way. Being betrayed, being cheated on, being lied to. It's going to give you attachment wounds. We all have baggage, basically. Attachment wounds is like baggage, emotional baggage. Affairs, like I've said, being cheated on. Emotional neglect, being in relationships where you've not been loved or respected. It's going to give you attachment wounds. It's going to influence your behavior with your relationships going forwards if it's not worked on, if you've not had enough time to heal. It's not just the time that you need to heal. Time's the greatest healer, they say. Not always. Sometimes it is. But you've got to actually put the work in to achieve that healing. Lack of emotional attunement. We're talking about attunement now. So when a caregiver doesn't recognize, accept, or understand a child's inner world. So it's when a parent fails to understand the child enough to work on them. I suppose as well, if you've not worked on yourself and you're a parent, which is not an easy job, don't get me wrong. No one's going to get this perfect. You can only help them based on the knowledge and experience that you have. You can only help them so much, I suppose. Absolutely. This lack of emotional attunement can affect attachment wounds as well. So what are the signs and symptoms? I'm just going to talk about this. I'll go back to the comments in a moment, guys. I'm just going through this and then I'll go with the comments. There's going to be a difficulty with trust, potentially. So you're not going to be, if you've got difficulties with trust, you're not going to become vulnerable in a relationship. You're not going to do. You're going to put barriers in place, block them, walls in place to stop. If you put walls in place, it's walls up in place within your life. It's going to stop people hurting you potentially. It's going to stop, it's going to prevent people attacking you. You're blocking everything. You're stopping all the bad from coming in, basically. The downside is when you're putting walls up, because I've done it. I've done it, trust me. Nothing good comes in either. Also, moving on, a fear of abandonment. Let me go to the comments a moment. I'll go with the comments and I'll carry on talking the best I can. So Sandra's cooking and listening. Go into the comments now, guys. Sorry. I try to flip between the two, the content and this. So Dawn's saying, yes, he's always a victim and treats people like shit. Thinks he's a wee gangster with his cocaine and rap music. Oh, shit. One of them, like a man-child, basically, by the sounds of it. So he's got his rap music and he's got his cocaine. He's living it up. And it's treating people like shit. Not good, Dawn. Mr. Gold then says, changing the topic, to be gold is to be bold. Well, I'm bold, so I must be gold then. You are never sold or cold and will ever fold when you're with the gold. Right, bit of poetry going on there, Mr. Gold. Spreading light, it's all good. It's good to laugh sometimes. Dawn saying, how old is he, Dawn? Dawn saying her brother is 34 years old, by the way, guys. Sanders then saying, nice rhymes, Mr. Gold. Laughing my ass off. Yes, I agree. Sanders then saying, he's old enough to know better, Dawn. Yikes. Well, yeah, at 34, he should be better than that, in my opinion. Have I been your brother, Dawn, to an extent? Yeah, to an extent, I've been your brother. Not exactly like him, but I've had some. I've lived that life, let's say that, to an extent, of course. Yorick says, Mr. Gold, the rapper that deserves a golden Oscar. Go with the gold theme there. I like it. Dawn saying, lost his license for drunk driving. Can't see his kids without supervision. Supervision is a mess. Oh, my God. Sorry, Dawn. That sounds... So losing your driving license, that's a big one, isn't it? You can't drive anymore. I hope that he didn't hurt anyone in that process or himself with regards to drunk driving. Not good. He can't see his kids without supervision. That is a mess. That is a mess, Dawn. You've done really well, by the way, Dawn, in your life. You've done so fucking well. Honestly, you really have. Kudos to you. Tipping my hat to you, let's say. Sandy's saying, Dawn, what the fuck? What a mess. Yeah. That's what can happen if you don't work on yourself. If you don't work on yourself, there's a price to pay, man. There's a price to pay. Yorick says, please like and subscribe, everyone. Thank you, Yorick. So Sandra says the same, like and subscribe, people. Thank you. I'm just going to pin that. Thank you. One moment. One sec. Sorry. Thank you. Please like and subscribe, guys. It really helps the channel. Thank you. I appreciate anyone that's watching, even if you don't comment. I appreciate anyone that comments. Anyone that likes. I appreciate you all. Thank you for anyone that subscribes. I'm just extending some gratitude. I try and help people the best I can. Sandra saying, you too, Mr. Gold. Give your golden like and subscribe. Oh, thanks, Sandra. Sandra says, Dawn, can't blame you. Definitely don't want to be around that mess. No, I suppose you've got to love people from afar sometimes. And I keep saying it, but it's really good saying, you can't give a helping hand to a closed fist. Even if the help is the best in the world, even if that help is exactly what they want, that closed fist is like, don't want it. I've been that person. I've done it. You've got to basically just be there for them from afar. Dawn, I've got a question. Sorry. Has your brother got good traits, though? Has he got potential? Dawn said, my therapist gave me a book called Codependent, No More Missed by Melody Beat It. It's really good. Thank you, Dawn. I'm writing that down. Codependent. I love reading. I can only read one book at a time, though. But it's good. I love reading. basically without the reading, I wouldn't have a lot of the knowledge that I have. I wish I could read all the books in the world. That'd be great, but that's not possible. Anyway, that's great. Thank you, Dawn. Mr. Golden says, saying, you've got the golden light blessings. Thank you again, Mr. Gold. Thank you for your golden blessings. It's very positive. Spreading light in your own way. I love that. Anyway, Sandra's saying, okay, Dawn, sounds interesting. Thank you for the book recommendation. Dawn saying, thank you, Brad. No worries, of course. Dawn saying, yes, Sandra, I got the audio book. Yeah, most of my books in our audio book. So much easier. I have a busy life, so I just listen to it on and off through the day, and I get through quite a lot of the books. I love audio book. I pay for the year as well. You get deals, don't you, as well? You get like 12 books. It's cheaper that way. Dawn saying, I thought he did, but I'm not so sure now. There's that turning point. Are you going to turn your life around? That person individually has to want to. You've got to want to change. If things are too comfortable, you're going to stick as it is. Sometimes there's an analogy of this. Sometimes you've got to go through a lot of pain before you even decide to fucking change. You've got to basically get all your teeth knocked out. Like you've been punched in the face, you've been filled in, you've been knocked out because you've been acting like a dickhead. But it's not enough pain for you to change. So sometimes it takes more. Brawl MMA, good to see you again, Brawl MMA. I hope you're okay, man. I hope you're doing well. How to deal with envy, question mark. I think you mentioned this before, Brawl MMA. Forgive me if I'm wrong. There's a girl in my office, very beautiful, got a boyfriend. She's a really good singer and keeps on getting attention on Instagram just because I deleted her. I feel like trash. Brawl MMA, how to deal with envy. Envy, you're still stuck on that, aren't you, by the sounds of it, man? That girl in the office, she's really beautiful. You want what you can't have, I suppose, type of logic. She's with somebody else, mate. She's chose someone else. Doesn't mean that doesn't mean you're less, by the way, Brawl MMA. It's just not your person, mate. This is a cliche fucking saying, but there's plenty more fish in the sea, mate. But if someone's got a partner, they're not. I stay away from that, mate. It's not going to do you any good. How's that envy going to help you? It's not going to help you. It's going to keep you stuck where you are. It's going to keep you bitter, potentially. How to deal with envy? Does anyone have any suggestions towards Brawl MMA, by the way? It's all about just working on yourself, loving yourself, finding whatever. Basically, do you go to the gym? Do you train? Focus on self-improvement, mate. Focusing physically on yourself. Going to the gym is really good for guys, in my opinion. You're just focusing on the weights. It makes you feel good. And when you're at the gym and you're doing the weights, it just feels good. Feels good. Makes you feel strong. Makes you look a little bit better. Makes you feel a little bit better. And then you focus on yourself. You're thinking, right, what do I want to do? Oh, I want to start my own business, or I'm going to become good at my job, or I'm going to do this new hobby, and I'm getting excited about that new hobby. You can be excited about something that's positive for your life, and then you're not thinking about that girl. Let that sometimes maybe journal saying that, let her go, mate. Let her go in your mind. Even though she's with someone else anyway, let her go, man. She's not your person. She's with someone else. It's okay. Doesn't mean you're less, though. Doesn't mean you're less. I'm saying that the best I can there, Brawl MMA. You feel like trash. You feel like shit. I've been there. I've been rejected. In the past, when I'm in my 20s, I've had like someone that I've been attracted to, and then they've chose someone else every time. It's like I've been missed out. Like, oh, what's wrong with me? That kind of thing. Coming second best is good enough for no one, though, mate. Do you want to be second best? Do you fuck? Second best is good enough for no one. Always remember that. And it's not your person. Sorry. I hope. I've not explained everything there, Brawl MMA, but just I've explained it the best way I can. You deleted it. If you deleted that person on Instagram, that's probably a good thing. Delete them. Don't look at them. Stop looking at that. Stop looking at that. It's gone. It's accepting, I suppose, though, to help with the envy. It's accepting the situation as it is. You've got to think, I accept the fact that this situation isn't going to play out the way I wanted it to. This person, I accept the fact that this person doesn't want to be with me. That makes me feel shit, but I accept it. Work on accepting the situation for what it is, and then just think about yourself, man. Dawn saying I've been there, bro. It's because I didn't love myself. I compare myself to others. I still do that too, Dawn. And Brawl MMA. I still do that too. It's okay, but I do it less so. I don't let it fester too long. These insecurities come back with me as well, but I try and deal with them a lot. I deal with them a lot faster now. And Sandy's saying Brawl MMA. You've said this before, and we went through it. Yeah. Sometimes it takes time, though. You can't. Everyone's challenges in life don't dealt with overnight. Sometimes it takes time, and that's okay as well. You can't always deal with things straight away. Sometimes it takes time to deal with things. That's your challenge, Brawl MMA. This is your life lesson now that's occurring. It's your life lesson, and it'll keep manifesting until you learn the lesson. I believe that you can get there, though. I believe that you can get there. Anyway, if anyone wants to email me, if you want to email me anytime you want to, that's absolutely fine. It's inspirationalambivert@outlook.com. Just email me if you want to. It's on my channel page. If you look at my channel page, you'll see there's an email address there, and I will respond the best I can. I'll respond the best I can to you and try and help you the best I can. Anyway, Mr. Gold says, bro, she's not golden enough for you. I like that, bro, Mr. Gold. She's not golden enough for you. She's not your person. Doesn't mean you're less, though. Doesn't mean you're less. Well said, Mr. Gold. Asana's agreeing. Mr. Gold, you're right. Well, he is right. Absolutely. And Dawn saying the crappy childhood fairy, which is a YouTuber, by the way, very, very good one, talks about limerence. Have a look at that because she's unavailable. Very well. Look at limerence. Oh, wow. Very insightful, that, Dawn. Limerence. Yeah, you mentioned that before. Look at that. That could really help you. Yeah. I love the fact that people help each other on here. I think it's great. That's what it's all about. So Mr. Gold's saying, you have to love yourself like Mr. Gold. I am the golden standard. And if others don't match my golden level, they can't shimmer it in my golden brilliance. Absolutely. Love the vibes, Mr. Gold. I agree. Yorick saying, anyone watching, has anyone they like to talk about, please write in comments and Brad will answer. Thank you, Yorick. Thanks for that. Sandy's saying that she downloaded the game, Yorick. Yeah, that game that we were playing yesterday. Yorick's got his own channel, by the way, guys. Please check it out. He does a lot of gaming. He's got a rabbit called Mr. Einstein. He does... he lives in London, so he does a lot of live content in and around London, around the parks in London. He does other things as well. But please check that out. Yorick saying, which one? Adorable home. Santa says, yes, Yorick. Then Yorick saying, at least we're all here shimmering in golden blessings. And Santa saying she feels golden today for sure. So I'm going to go back to what I was talking about. I've gone through the comments there a little bit. So signs and symptoms, we're going back to attachment wounds. Going back to attachment wounds, okay? Fear of abandonment, fear of being left. These attachment wounds. And that can result in, like Yorick said before, if you've got attachment wounds and you've got your fear of abandonment, it can lead you to checking your partner's phone all the time. You're looking at the phone all the time. You're not trusting them. You're scared of being left. It can make you very dependent on other person. Dependency. You can't feel good without them there. You're dependent on them for everything, for your self-worth. In an ideal world, we become independent, don't we? You can independent, or the best way in a relationship is interdependence, isn't it? Interdependence. So you're both independent, but you both work together in a positive way. That's the ideal. But you don't want to be dependent on others, basically. I'll move on the best I can. Insecure attachment patterns. So needing constant reassurance. Avoidant equals pushing people away. Absolutely. I'm referring to my notes a moment. Sorry, guys. Insecure attachment patterns. Needing constant reassurance. Always needing, am I okay? Am I this? Am I that? Always needing approval. The world is full of approval junkies, as they say. The world is full of approval junkies. We all like to be give a pat on the back. We all want some reassurance sometimes, but if it's done to an extreme, it's a sign of an attachment wound, isn't it? It's a symptom, a sign of an attachment wound within yourself. Avoidant, you go pushing people away, being an avoidant person, avoiding relationships altogether. I've done it. At one point in my life, I was on my own for a long time. I needed to be, really. I was avoidant. I wouldn't let anybody in. I wouldn't let no one in. I wanted a relationship, but I didn't. It was weird. I avoided it. I wouldn't put myself out there at all. I was scared of rejection, so therefore I had attachment wounds, really. I did. It took me a while to work through that as well. It took me a long time, actually, to get over that, really. But that's okay. And also, if you've got an issue with your life, don't beat yourself up if you've not solved something and it's been a year or 2 years, but you're aware of it, but you've not quite dealt with it yet. Don't beat yourself up too much. It's all personal. You're competing against yourself. I believe you're competing against yourself. Just because someone else solved the same problem in 2 months doesn't mean you're less than them because you've not solved it in 2 years. It all takes time. It's all personalized. It's all different. Everyone's got different experiences as well. Everyone's got different levels of trauma that they've gone through. We're all different. Anyway, I'll carry on. Relationship challenges in relation to these attachment wounds. Another sign is difficulty communicating your needs. Difficulty communicating what you need. So you don't want to upset the apple cart. You want things, but you feel bad about expressing those things. You don't dare to communicate what you want or what your needs are. And therefore, you're dimming your lights, I suppose. People pleasing, a fucking big one, man. People pleasing, I've still got a little bit of it in me now. I'm better than I was, though. You feel guilty when you say no. Yeah, therefore, you could end up becoming a fucking doormat, though. You don't want to be a doormat. Would you want to be a doormat? People are going to walk all over you. But that's what people pleasing can bring. You don't want to upset anyone. You want everyone to like you. You don't want to be criticised. You don't want to be judged. So you can end up doubling down on the people pleasing. You're saying yes to everything. Not good. Another one is some people do if they've got an attachment wound is they have what's it going to say then? Sorry, they jump from one relationship to the next. So the honeymoon period, they're addicted to that fucking golden time in a relationship. Let's call it the golden time. Sorry, going with Mr. Gold here. That golden time, what is it? The golden time. It's that honeymoon period that might last 6 months. It might last 2 months. It might last a year, maybe 2 years. Who knows? But they're addicted to that. And then once the relationship becomes a bit more serious and they start to see after the honeymoon period, you start to see the person's flaws because we're all human. We all make mistakes. Of course, we can all be annoying. I can be annoying. You can be annoying. Let's be real. We can all be annoying. We can all annoy each other. And what some people do is they go from one relationship to the next. So they just want the gold all the time. They want that all the time. So they jump from one relationship to the next. They never see it out. So anyway, I'll go back to the comments now, the best I can. Thank you for anyone that's watching. Thank you to anyone that's subscribed. I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. My name's Brad. It's Inspirational Ambivert channel. I try to help people the best I can. Okay. It's all about growth. It's all about working on yourself. It's all about dealing with the shitness of life and coming out of it stronger, coming out of it yeah, sorry, I'm saying it very vaguely, but anyway, let me just go back to the comments. Sandra says, yes, Yorick. Yorick says, at least we all have shimmering and gold blessings in relation to Mr. Gold. Sandra saying she feels golden for sure. So Yorick saying, yes, that game is cute and like real life decorating house and picking the right furniture. He's on about a game that he was reviewing yesterday on his channel. We all need approval sometimes, this Yorick saying, yes, of course we do. We all need a little pick me up sometimes. It's nice. And especially if it's coming from a genuine place, it's good. We all need approval sometimes. I agree. It's good. It's best to rely on your own approval, of course, but we all need a pat on the back sometimes. We all need approval. In a way, it's like it's a sign of appreciation. A bit of appreciation can go a long, long way. A long, long way. Absolutely, Yorick. Except for Mr. Gold Yorick saying, I'll carry on. Dawn's then saying, I have an anxious attachment style, but I keep it in check. I still constantly think everyone I love is going to die, though. I'm constantly waiting for disaster. Wow, that's very insightful, and that's a sign of your past trauma manifesting. Your Dawn, sorry, but it sounds like you're keeping it in check, though, with the work that you're doing on yourself. It's amazing. Well, let me just break that down. Sorry. How does the sorry, let me just think. I'm trying to get my words out, guys. I'm doing my best. I have an anxious attachment style, but I keep it in check. I keep myself in check as well. I get it. I'm still constantly think everyone I love is going to die. Or you're scared of losing everybody. That's anxiety, isn't it? It's thinking about anxiety is like worried about the future, isn't it? Basically, catastrophizing, making. I can't say some words. I can't speak some words. I just can't. It's thinking there's something bad's going to happen in the future, isn't it? Basically, I think it's going to be chaos in the future. It's going to be a disaster in the future. Think that everyone's going to die and you're going to be left on your own. It's catastrophizing. Thanks, Sander. Yeah, thanks. I struggle to say some words. I'm not perfect myself. I get it though, Dawn. Absolutely. It's being aware of that though, isn't it? You're aware that you're doing that and you're accepting that that's happening in your mind. Therefore, you're able to limit the damage of that type of behavior, thought process in your mind. Is what I'm trying to say. Sandra says, yes, Yorick, I really like it. She likes the game she's on about. Changing topic a little bit. Yorick saying, don't say golden time. He will appear, Brad. We're on about Mr. Gold, by the way. Sanders then saying, Dawn, I'm the same. I also have health anxieties, which my therapist pointed out lately that I'm getting better with. I was meant to go for a session today, but he's ill, and it's the first time he's had it. Oh, sorry, Sandra, you're missing the opportunity to go see a therapist. I know it does you a lot of good. How are you doing with yours, Dawn? Is the question. Have you gone for your second session yet, or have you booked your second session? Is the question. Sorry, I'm just breaking down what Sandra's saying. Yeah, it's thinking catastrophizing, isn't it? Basically everything. Oh, you've got a cold, and you just go on Google, and then you go down the rabbit hole of Google. You've got a headache, and you go down the rabbit hole of Google, and there's so many there's so many like bad outcomes that could be presented by asking that question into Google, and then it's thinking that you're going to die and being really, really worried about it and being very emotionally charged with your worry, and it's coming away from that, isn't it? If you've developed those patterns, behavioural patterns over a long, long, long time, Sander, you can't just fix it straight away. It's just putting the brakes on that thought process, I suppose, the best way you can. Sander's saying to cancel. All right, about your therapy session. Mr. Gold is spreading gold again. Thank you, Mr. Gold. Spread the love. Someone said my name, so yes, they did, Mr. Gold. Mr. Gold. A golden time to all. Dawn saying, yes, I've had a health anxiety on and off too. I'm loving therapy, by the way. Thanks for the little push I needed. No worries, Dawn. Keep going. As long as it works for you. As long as it works for you. I've never been to therapy personally. Would it do me good? Yeah, it'd do anyone good. You don't have to go to therapy to work on yourself, in my opinion. It's a very good tool and a very good resource and a very good support system to achieve those things. Absolutely, if you put the work in yourself. But I think you can do it other ways. You can read, of course. You can do just introspection, self-reflection. You can do it through reading. You can do it through YouTube, etc., etc. There's different ways to do it. But therapy is a great thing to do. It's a great tool. A lot of people don't do therapy because one, it costs money. But you're investing in yourself. But some people go, oh, I'm not going to therapy, but I'll spend £200 on a night out and get absolutely drunk, but I won't spend £60 or £50 or whatever it costs on a therapy session. They'll see it as a waste of money, but I don't think it is. You're investing in yourself. You're investing you're investing in becoming your better self, which can help your life massively if you put the work in, of course. Sandy's saying, indeed, Mr. Gold. Sandy's saying, oh my God, Dawn, I'm so happy for you. Sending love and respect. That's amazing. It's amazing. That's what it's all about. It's all about growth. It's all about helping each other as well. Dawn saying she's going to do a timeline. She's going to do a timeline to retrieve some memories. Wow. Wow. That's doing the deeper work, Dawn. That's amazing. That's helping you to break down it, isn't it? Break it down and understand it. And then, oh, that's really like you're taking memories out of Pandora's box, out of the heart there, aren't you? Picking them out one by one, maybe, and going, there, do you remember this situation? How did that make you feel? Wow, that's really, really good, by the way. It's going to be emotionally charged, though, of course. Could it feel painful? Of course. But you're ripping the Band-Aid out, and that's how you heal. Healing's not easy. Healing's not easy. It's sometimes painful. But it's definitely needed in life, in my opinion. Mr. Gold saying Santa Claus is bringing me gold this Christmas. I settle for nothing less. It's going to be expensive for Santa Claus then, Mr. Gold. Changing topic a little bit there. Dawn's saying, I'm looking forward to seeing what I blanked out, but it's also going to be hard. Oh, wow. You're looking forward to seeing what you blanked out. God. Am I guilty of blanking things out when I was younger? Yeah. Is it painful when you think about them? Oh my God. You think, how the hell? I think, God, I blanked things out in my life for so long. It took me a long time to even acknowledge them and look at them. It's like, why? It's all about thinking, why do I behave in this way? Why am I insecure? Do I dare look at my own insecurities? Most people don't do it, do they? They don't bother because it's painful. It's hard. I get it. The hard road, I love this saying, the hard road will fucking take you home, mate. The hard road will take you fucking home. And yeah, it's going to be hard. But that's where the gold is. That's where the gold is. Dawn. Say it lightly. Sandra's then saying, Dawn, you're amazing. I agree. And you're doing so well and impressive how much work you put into your healing. Yeah. And same with you, Sandra. Absolutely. It's digging deep, innit? Digging deep. And then also, in my opinion, if you've suffered from something and you've struggled with something, it's good to help others too. You're already doing that. Dawn, Sandra, and other people are doing that too. We're here to, knowledge should be shared. Experiences should be shared. We should all help each other. That's the collective consciousness. That's the way it should be, in my opinion. And if you've experienced something and you've dealt with it, you're in a great position to help others. You don't have to help others, and you can't help everyone. Like I said, you can't give a helping hand to a closed fist. But if you've got people that are open to healing, open to those types of things, I think it's really important to help others. You're already doing these things, by the way. You're already doing it as we speak in real time. This is helping people. And I like to believe that anyway. It won't help everyone. Of course it won't help everyone. It doesn't work like that. But it's going to help some people, and it's amazing. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. And to grow ourselves as well through that process. Anyway, so I was saying, Dawn, it's interesting though. I love digging deep. I do. I really do. I'm just drawn to it naturally. I always have been. Mr. Gold saying a Merry Goldmas and a happy gold year. Okay, thank you, Mr. Gold. We're not quite there yet, though, are we, at Christmas? But we're getting there. Dawn saying, yeah, it's pretty exciting. That's a good feeling. You're excited by it. You're excited by discovering the deep door. You're excited by You're excited by it. You're interested in it. You're going for it. That's great. That means you're doing the right thing. Yorick saying, brilliant, a Merry Goldmas and a happy gold year. Love it. Yorick's loving it. Right. Okay. Mr. Gold is changing the names of all festivals to golden names. The golden child, let's say. Dawn's saying, I've got my 3rd session on Thursday. All right, cool. Are you going every week, every 2 weeks, every month? How are you going to schedule your sessions is the question. Eric's then saying, what about gold arena, gold giving, Mr. Gold? God. Mr. Gold, I think Yorick is one of your biggest fans, by the way. This is a good thing. Santa's saying it's ChatGPT now, Brad, laughing my ass off. Yeah, get down with the kids, get down with the modern times. Yes, don't Google it, ChatGPT it. That's the future, isn't it? And beyond. And Brad, it comforts you. Yeah, ChatGPT is so good, man. You type something in, it's going to help. It helps me deal with situations all the time. I know it's AI, I get it. But it can really help. It's a tool. Use the tools around you. Use the tools around you. ChatGPT is a tool. And if it's used in the right way, it can bring you a lot of positivity, in my opinion. Within reason, of course. Because it knows me well, Google could never know. You're right, Sander. It's true. I agree. Sander's laughing at Yorick. Sander's giving woohoo to Dawn, celebrating her journey. Yorick's then saying, I will have to use that one. I'm going to say happy gold year to everyone on New Year's Day. Brilliant. Okay, you're adopting that then, Yorick. They might be a bit confused, yes, but you're still going to enjoy that process. Yorick's asking, Mr. Gold, interesting question for you. What do you do when the price of gold drops? Good question. Towards that. Santa's saying I could use some gold this Christmas, LOL. Oh, yeah, we could. We all could. It's hard but rewarding. I'm learning so much about yourself, discovering about yourself. That's what kept me going as well, Dawn. With regards to myself, I love learning about myself and why I tick. Why am I insecure? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? It's that's self-discovery, isn't it? Self-discovery, and that means you're just going to smash it, basically, if you've got that mindset. You do have ups and downs, though, of course. It's not all happy days, it's not all sunshines and rainbows. Of course, you know that. Sometimes it's getting through the day, getting through the shit, wading through the shit. Sometimes you've got loads of growth, and then you like bump and you hit rock bottom, and it's just getting through the dark times where it's more challenging, let's say. But you get there eventually. Everyone's journey is different, though, of course. I'm just giving my own perspective on that. Someone's saying, Dawn, yes, it's not for the faint of heart. Most people don't do it. They just don't. Yorick saying, Brad, you heard that Christmas stocking filled with gold can borrow some from Mr. Gold. Sounds like he's pooing gold, by the way. I'm going off topic here. Santa's saying you're in the integration phase now, Dawn. Can you elaborate on how the integration phase is going, Sander? If you can. No pressure. Sander's then saying thank you to me. Thank you to Brad. No worries. It's all good. So I'm going to move on in a moment, the best way I can. Let me just write in this. Okay, moving on. How narcissistic trauma causes these behaviours. I'm just going to type that in. Sorry, guys, I'm going quiet for a moment. Just typing something in. How narcissistic trauma can cause these behaviours, I'm just typing it in. It's taking me a while. I'll pose it as a question as well. Oh, it's not doing it. Forget it. I'm just going to talk about it. It's not typing it in. It's okay. I'm going to carry on. So how can narcissistic trauma cause these kind of behaviors? You've been brought up in with narcissistic parents, for example. How's it going to do it? It's going to, you weren't taught stability. You weren't taught about stability. You're not used to stability. You're not used to baseline behaviors, just like normality. You're used to chaos. You've been brought up in chaos. You've been brought up in an unstable environment. You've not been taught about what stability is. You don't even know what stability is if you're in that situation. That's all you know. Therefore, if that's all you know, that's what you're going to do. If you don't have any knowledge or experience and all you know is chaos, you're just going to be chaotic yourself in your own way. You weren't given emotional safety. So if you weren't given emotional safety, you don't. Basically, you don't. What can happen is you don't. I'm trying to get the words out, guys, the best I can. If you don't have emotional stability, sometimes, like, imagine if you're really upset and you're really angry, and something's really bothering you, it's made you feel sad, it's made you feel upset, and you express those things within your family dynamic and you're a kid, and then you're just ignored, or you're told, don't upset the apple cart, stop being angry, stop being mad, we don't want you being mad, we want to maintain this happy, we're sweeping it under the carpet, we sweep things under the carpet here. We don't want you to be emotional. We don't want you to be mad. We don't want you to be upset. That upsets the apple cart. And then that, therefore, can make a child or a person, depending on the situation, feel like they don't feel safe expressing themselves emotionally. That's what can happen. How do I know? I've done it. Done it. Done it. Fuck. And then you don't dare communicate your emotions. You keep them in. You can become quite cold, potentially, because you don't feel safe expressing your emotions. But if you don't express your emotions, you're depressing those emotions. Therefore, depression, linked to depression, isn't it? Vaguely, it is. If you're not going to understand or express your emotions in a healthy manner, you don't feel safe to express those emotions, you can learn just to repress them. You just think, do you know what? I'm not going to express how angry and upset I am. I'm going to ignore it. And then you're doing this every day. Days become weeks, weeks become months, months become years, and you've still got all these emotions that you're not dealing with. A lot of men do it. That's why a lot of men commit suicide, because they fucking don't deal with it, and it builds up and it builds up and it builds up and it builds up, but you're still repressing it. You don't dare share it, and you hold on to all that shit. Therefore, repressed emotions equals depression. Depression could lead to catastrophic events in the end if it's not dealt with, if it's not structured, if it's not dealt with properly. How do I know? I've fucking done it. How do I know? I've seen people that have done it as well. How do I know? I've known people that aren't here anymore because they've repressed their emotions, and all of them are men. Not saying that it doesn't happen to women as well, of course. But men tend to do it more than women because of a lot of different factors. So you don't want to get to that point. Anyway, you're not given emotional safety then, are you? You're not given emotional safety. It's not safe to be upset. You don't feel safe in expressing yourself. You don't feel safe. Society can be like that sometimes as well. You don't feel safe in expressing yourself. You don't feel safe in, you think, I'm not allowed to have emotions at all. I'm not allowed to express how I feel because I feel shame if I do. I feel like I'm less than if I do. I feel weak if I do. But there's a lot of strength that can be gained through that if it's done in a structured, measured manner, let's say. Anyway, so we're still on this topic. The narcissistic trauma causes these behaviors. So is you associate success with punishment. You associate success with punishment. That can feel like, do you know, sometimes if you do well, some people won't be happy for you. If you're around people that aren't happy for your success, they'll make you feel bad about it. They'll dumb it down. They'll ridicule it. They'll say, oh, you think you're better than us now? Look at you doing well over there. Look at you being successful. You think you're better than us, don't you? Come back down to our level. Come back down to the bottom. Come back to this low vibration. Come back to this low vibrational shit. Stop shining so brightly. Stop being so fucking successful. These people will say, crab in a bucket. Let's pull this fucker down. They can pull you down. And that can lead you to associating success with punishment. That's what I'm gauging from that. I'll move on. You learn to expect disappointment because you've been let down all your life. You're expecting disappointment a lot of the time. Sorry, I'm trying to get the words out the best I can. You're learning to expect it, basically. Trying to get the words out with regards to that. You're learning to expect disappointment. You'll be let down by everybody. Everyone's, you just, all you're seeing is like, no one really cares about me. No one really gives a fuck about me. People are always horrible to me. I just expect disappointment in everything. That type of thinking can occur. Absolutely. I'll move on. Did your childhood prepare you more for... Well, one moment, let me just type in this. I'm going to type a question in. The question is, I'll go back to the comments in a moment, sorry. Did your childhood prepare you for chaos more than peace? It takes me a while to type this in. Sorry if it's... Let's hope that it allows me to type this in. Sometimes it can play. YouTube can be a bit fickle at times. Yeah, it's let me do it. So did your childhood prepare you for chaos or peace? Is the question. I'm going to go back to the comments, guys. So Mr. Gold saying, price of gold never drops. You just need to believe in your heart and your heart will always stay golden. Brilliant. Okay. Dawn's asking, what's that, Sander? Question mark. Yorick's then saying, amazing, Mr. Gold. We all need a golden heart, but not sure that's very practical for the human body. It reminds me of that Game of Thrones. You remember the Game of Thrones episode? If anyone's seen the Game of Thrones, and you've got that fucking that prince or whatever it is, and they pulled the golden crown on his head, and they melt all the gold and pour it on his head. If anyone's seen that scene. GC Gaming, hi, I'm back. Hi, JC Gaming, how are you? I think I saw you when I was in Croatia. I'm back in England now. Hope you're okay, JC Gaming. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so then thank you, Sander, for elaborating. Sander's saying trauma integration. This phase occurs after processing traumatic memories and involves creating a new life narrative that includes the trauma event, your pre-trauma life and your post-trauma self. Very interesting, very well said, by the way. So you're processing the trauma, you're becoming aware of it, you're analysing it, you're looking at it, looking at your memories. It's basically, let me rephrase it, it's like reparenting yourself. You've got old ways of being that you're a kid, you're in a family dynamic. The way to survive that family dynamic is to potentially be, you're getting neglect, you're around narcissistic parenting, let's say. For you to survive that scenario as a child, as a child, you're a bit limited, so you become a people pleaser. You walk on eggshells, you do all the things I was talking about before, just to get through that family dynamic. And then what happens is that childhood way of being, you apply that to adult life, but now you're in a different environment. And that way of being is not for your best self now. It might work when you were a kid, which wasn't perfect, but now that way of being it's not cutting it very well in life, is it? That's when obviously reparenting can occur in relation to what Sanders just said very well, by the way. So you post-trauma self, post meaning afterwards. So I've acknowledged what's gone on before. Now, how do I change, rewire my nervous system? How do I rewire my brain, my behaviours? That's going forwards, becoming your better self. Let your light shine brightly. Let your light shine brightly. Jesse Gaming says hi. Hi, Jesse Gaming again. Santa's saying it's a very confusing time, Dawn, as they all are. Yeah, it's that transitional period, which can take time as well. It can be very, very confusing. Because imagine you've done something for 40 years, you've behaved a certain way for 40 years. That's what you know, that's what you're comfortable with. And then all of a sudden you have to just change that. And when you start to change something, it's very difficult. New beginnings can be difficult when you change something. It's not always easy. It can become uncomfortable and also confusing. I get it. I can understand that. And Sandra says, hi, JC Gaming. Dawn says, every week, just now, but it's £60 an hour. I need to pay my horses library this week coming, so I might have to miss one. Yeah, if it was me, I'd be spreading it out personally. Everyone's different. Once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks, at least once a month, I'd say. I'm not the expert here. That's just my opinion, Dawn. I say at least once a month, at least. Ideally, maybe start off with once every 2 weeks or once a week, obviously, or then get to once every 3 weeks, maybe. It depends where you're at. But it's all about that, like we keep saying, it's the consistency. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I think you already know that, Dawn. I'm telling you to suck eggs here. I'm just giving my perspective there, that's all. So I'm saying, Dawn, I'm lucky I get NHS first responders discount. Yeah, you do. That's great. Working as a nurse, of course. Dawn saying, very interesting, Sandra. Have you heard of mind mapping? Yeah, I've heard of mind mapping. I don't know if Sandra's heard of it. Let's find out. She's mentioned doing it, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. Mind mapping. Ah, nice one, Sandra, Dawn says. Yeah, Dawn said I should get truck driver's discount. Absolutely, Dawn. Say, yeah, I'm a truck driver, so fucking give me some money. give me some money off. Of course. Truck driver's discount. Yeah. I bet Mr. Gold gets the golden discount. Of course he does. Sandra said, I did hear of it, Dawn, but never tried or applied it. I think it's a type of journaling, isn't it? Mind mapping. It's kind of like you're writing about you're writing it down on paper, mind mapping about your past and your trauma and things that have bothered you, key moments in your life, key points in your life, key emotional points in your life. You're mapping them out, you write them on a piece of paper, then you're seeing them spread out, and then it's trying to maybe understand yourself via that way. That's how I gauge that. I'm probably saying that in a very basic way. I'm not an expert on mind mapping, by the way, but I have seen it. I've come across it. You're like saying golden discount, probably 90% off. No, Yorick, it's free. It's free. That's the golden discount. Joking, of course. And Jesse Gaming says, how are you? I'm good, thanks, Jesse Gaming. I'm back in England. I prefer doing my lives in my own home. It's so much more comfortable. So I'm glad I'm back. I'm back to work on Monday, JC Gaming, back grafting, let's say. But I've had a really nice holiday and I feel refreshed. I feel revitalized, and I'm using that as to push forwards, let's say that. So yeah, I'm good, thank you. Dawn saying, I wasn't sure if I was going to like her after my first session. I was a bit skeptical, a bit cautious, but I thought I'll give one more now and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, you're taking that leap of faith. It's normal to be a bit scared of something, especially if it's something like that. You're exposing yourself emotionally as well. So you're going to be a bit guarded naturally. I will be. Like, who's this person? I'm a bit skeptical about this person. Do I trust that person? Or that situation? I think that's natural to do that, Dawn. It's kind of a way of protecting yourself, isn't it? I do that. I do that with people. I do it with people. I'm usually, a lot of time, if I'm in a social situation, I'll be very quiet, believe it or not. Even though I'm speaking loads now, I'll be very quiet. And I just watch for a while. I observe for a while. Just to soak it all in, watch what the actions are, watch how people are behaving. I think that's a good way to be, it's protecting yourself. As long as you don't do it too much, of course. So I'm saying, yeah, it takes time to develop trust and that connection, Dawn. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you'll meet some people, if you're in psychotherapy, let's say, you'll meet some people you don't align with them, even though they might be a good person. They might be genuine, but they might not align. That can happen as well, I believe. And like Dawn said in the past, some of them will be potentially they won't have your best interests at heart. They won't be a genuinely good person. Some therapists, some are going to be good, some are going to be not so good. So you're going to be a bit guided, of course. But I think a lot of I don't know. I think I'd like to think that at least a large percentage of them would be genuinely trying to help people and coming from a good, genuine place. Maybe I'm being a bit naive there, but I'd like to think they do. And don't think I spilled out quite a bit, to be honest. I surprised myself. Yeah, it's that environment that's going to encourage that. You're laying it on the table, laying it all on the table, Dawn. Spilling out of you. Is that going to be a bit messy and a bit confusing and a bit difficult? Fucking right, it is. It's a beautiful thing, though. An amazing thing what you're doing for yourself. Is it worth every penny? In my opinion, yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. Anyway, let me carry on. Dawn saying, in my house, no one was allowed to be angry apart from him. Yep, Dawn. Fuck. Yep. In relation to what I was saying before. Yeah, you're not allowed to be upset. You're not allowed to be. We don't want to deal with your shit, basically. You don't feel emotionally safe then, do you, at all, Dawn? I absolutely get that. So Yorick saying, will you guys be going to visit Croatia again? Yorick, we go every single year. So we're going back in May, hopefully. That's the plan. The 2nd of May. We're for 2 weeks again. Sandra's family live there. And we go frequently. Yeah, we do. At least once a year. So yes, absolutely, Yorick. I've lost count. I've been going there since 2016. And now it's I've nearly been going there for 10 years, every single year, by the way, Yorick. And sometimes more than that. I know it very well, actually. Split, I know. Let's say that. Sandra's saying, LOL, yeah, I understand that. They have a way of getting us to talk and share on. Yeah, that's what they're meant to do. That means they're doing a good job, by the way. That's a good thing. I think when you first come, they're getting to open up. I think they apply a softer approach to begin with. And then further down the line, maybe 6 months down the line or whatever it is, when they think you're ready, they're going to challenge you a little bit. They're going to push you a little bit. And it's not going to feel comfortable. I think sometimes they do that as well, depending on the situation, of course. Not that I'm an expert on that, just to be open and honest. Yorick saying, it's an amazing country. I bet you're missing it already. Yeah, part of me is missing it. Part of me is missing it. I absolutely agree. But from my own opinion, I suppose my ego is tied to my job. I'm very good at what I do and my structure and things like that. I love where I live. I love my apartment. I love it. It's my sanctuary, really. I did miss that, if I'm honest. But I do miss parts of Croatia as well. It's got its positives. Everywhere's got its pros and cons, Yorick. So part of me is missing it, but part of me isn't as well, if I'm honest. Sandra probably feels a little bit differently about that, maybe. But Sandra's then saying, Dawn, in my house, everyone was allowed to be angry besides myself. Oh, fucking hell, Sandra. So everyone else is allowed to express themselves. Everyone else is allowed to kick off, but not Sandra. You've got to keep the peace, Sandra. You're the peacemaker. You're the people pleaser. We put you in that people pleaser box. You're not allowed to be upset. We don't deal with that. But we can be angry. We can kick off. We can do what we want, but you can't. That's shit. What's that? To me, that's the state. That is this. You are therefore would fit into the skateboard box potentially. Correct me if you think I'm wrong. But yeah, you're not allowed to upset the apple cart. You're the calm one. People put you in boxes, don't they, sometimes? And you've got to perform to their liking, to what they want and expect of you. In that fucked up, traumatic environment. And you can't express yourself or be yourself or be your true self. And that must be really frustrating and horrible. Sorry, Sandy. Yeah, I'll carry on. I'll carry on the best I can. Dawn saying, yes, she's just sat and listened and I kept pouring. You will. She sat and listened. That's great. She sat and listened. That's not that I'm an expert, but that's a good sign. They're sitting and they're listening. They're not talking over you. They're allowing you to express yourself. They're being quiet. That's perfect. That's really good. That's a basic thing, really basic thing. Just letting someone pour their heart out and not interrupting them. Let them do their thing. Just basically shutting up, listening, truly listening. That's great. That's a good sign, by the way, from a practitioner's point of view, from a someone who's been a psychotherapist or whatever they are. That's a good sign. That's a positive sign, in my opinion. If they're listening to you and allowing you to express yourself openly, and creating that safe place for you as well, Dawn, which is great. That's what you need. Good environment, by the sounds of it. Sandra says Yorick in May. Yes, we're going back in May. That's the intention. That's what's going to happen. Dawn says, "Wow, Sandra." Sandra then says, "Oh, beautiful, Dawn. That's what we're there for, and I find it so beautiful. My therapist is such a great person." That's great. That's amazing. Sandra's been doing it for years. She's been doing it for years. She's been very consistent with it as well. She's kudos to her. Respect to you, Sandra. Anyway, Sandra's then saying, "I do miss it, Yorick. Yes, it's a lovely country indeed. There's lots of positives from it." Yeah. Sandra's saying the UK is home now too. It's to love where you are. It's good to. It's important to love where you're at. It's good. It's okay to acknowledge the pros and cons, of course. But if you can, make your house a sanctuary, isn't it? Make it a safe place for you. Dawn saying, "That's great. I thought I was going to struggle to find one that I liked." You're probably, skeptical about it. It's great that you found one that you've liked. It's good that it's aligning with who you are and where you're at, Dawn. Sandra's then saying, "Dawn, I thought that too, but I feel lucky now. 3 years later with the same therapist." Wow, it's been 3 years. It goes fast. That goes fast. Wow. What country is Mr. Gold from? Good question. I'm trying to think. I don't know, Yorick. You expect disappointment all the time. You expect things to go. You're anticipating negativity more. That's a sign of that attachment kind of thing, isn't it? A trauma thing, attachment styles kind of thing. You're expecting disappointment, expecting to be let down. You're not expecting things to go the best way. I get it. That's okay though. That's okay to feel that. Dawn saying, "That's amazing, Sandra." Dawn saying, "I turned up at my neighbour's house with a bag with a few slices of bread and a chunk of butter, and I said I was leaving because I couldn't stand all the screaming and I thought he was going to kill her." One moment, let me just 1 minute, Dawn. Let me break it down. You turned up at your neighbour's house with a bag, okay, and a few slices of bread and a chunk of butter, and you said I was leaving because I couldn't stand all the screaming. I thought he was going to kill her. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that situation, please, Dawn? What's with the bread and the chunk of butter? What were you going to have dinner there, lunch there? I don't know. You said you was leaving. Can you give me more context with regards to that? Sorry, I know you can only type so much in at a time on here. It's a bit limited. Sorry about that. Dawn saying, "Dawn, how about even if I don't get..." Sorry, Dawn. How about even if we do get disappointed, we'll deal with whatever comes and we will be okay because we are strong enough to handle anything that comes our way. Love the positivity there, Sandra. Yeah, it's just putting your best foot forward, turning up. Think, you know what? I'm going to fucking turn up. Sometimes, I suppose, if you expect to be disappointed, anything else is a bonus, isn't it? There's that kind of thinking as well. Sometimes if you expect, you know what? Imagine you go to a concert, you think, oh, it's not even going to be that good. And then even if it's not that good, you're not disappointed then, are you? Because you're expecting it to be shit anyway. Anything else is a bonus. I suppose it's that way of looking at things as well. You're like saying maybe Mr. Gold from Golden States of America, maybe Golden Britain, Gold Britannia. Oh, I don't think it's Gold Britannia, is it? Let's be honest at the moment. It's a bit shit in a way. Um, Cold Rika. Right, okay, Yorick's really, he's immersing himself in the gold at the moment. Don't say absolutely, Sander. Sander's saying Goldacia as a place. Sander's saying don't. People always disappointment. That's a given. True. No one's going to be perfect, are they, Sander? I'm not perfect. So therefore, we can all disappoint. We can disappoint ourselves. We can become disappointed with situations or behaviours of other people, especially if you put them on. Especially if you put someone on a what's it called? A pedestal. If you put someone on a pedestal in your mind, and you think they're this most amazing, perfect person, and then maybe that kind of thinking can lead you to be disappointed in them as well. I suppose sometimes you've got to accept that people are human, people are going to make mistakes, no one's going to be perfect all the time. That can help with regards to disappointment in some situations, of course. Don't saying that's absolutely certain. Sander's saying definitely laughing my ass off, Yorick. Sander's saying no, Yorick. Yorick's saying Brad probably has it in the back. He's going to show the big toe all of a sudden on stream. Like, surprise, guys. I cut off the big statue toe in Croatia. Yorick's on about basically there's a big statue in Croatia. I forgot who the guy is. It's basically in Split in Croatia near all the Roman buildings, let's say. And there's a big statue, it's a massive statue, and it's got a gold toe at the bottom, and people touch the toe for good luck. That's what Yorick's on about. Dawn says, I'm impatient, Brad. I want results now. I get it. I think you're already getting the results. I think you want results now. I think you're getting them in a lot of ways. I think everyone's healing journey is different. Everyone's healing journey is so different, so varied. So maybe you'll get the results straight away. Hopefully, I hope you do. See how it pans out. I get the impatience. You just want to be your best self straight away. You don't want to have all these insecurities and shitty things, do you, in your life? You just want to be happy and strong and shining brightly and living your best life. And I can understand why you get impatient with that type of thing if it's not occurring straight away. I get impatient too. Yorick saying Split is definitely on my list of places to visit. Thanks to you guys for showing it. Oh, it's all right, Yorick. No worries. I showed it the best way I could. My camera skills were a bit shit, if I'm honest, if I look back at the videos, because I did some videos in Split. But I'm glad that I could show it to you, Yorick. I probably need to improve upon that in the future. Anyway, Sander's saying, oh, Yorick, I hope that you visit one day. It's beautiful. Yeah, it is. There's a lot of islands around Split as well that people visit. There's a lot of boat journeys you can go along. There's a lot you can do, basically. It's not just Split itself. Split's quite a small city, really. Yorick's saying this has been a great stream. Oh, thanks, Yorick. I love doing this. Yeah, it's been a really good stream. Thanks. And don't say agreed, Yorick. Yeah, it's been the best one I've done in a while. The ones in Split that I did weren't. It wasn't done properly. Let's say I prefer doing it this way. Sander's saying you're practically a Croat now, Brad. God, yeah. I've been trying to learn the language better. I've got a little bit better. I'm going to keep trying to get better at speaking Croatian. I think I need to. Sander's saying I really enjoyed it too, this stream. Oh, thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Appreciate you all. Thank you. Bradovic. Oh, shit. Yeah, it's funny. Bradovic. Yeah, that's my new name, Bradovic. Good one. Good wordplay there, Yorick. Bradvika is a nipple in Croatian. Fuck me. So I'm a nipple. Cheers. A bit of a tit then. It's funny. Everyone's laughing. It's all good. Yorick is off to Nipple for his jolly days. Yeah. My bad. It's all good. It's funny. And Santa's saying you need Mr. Gold in your life. Brad, Yorick, should I say? Sorry, say his name, believe, and he'll appear. Oh, John said, oh, you're renaming Brad. I thought it was a place. No, they're renaming me to suit the Croatian way of life, let's say. Santa's food prepping. Amazing. Sounds great. Granola and soup. Brilliant. Can't wait to when Brad catches up to this part of the chat, he'd be like, I'm okay, it's all good. Santa's saying he'll be thrilled. Yeah, ecstatic. I'm just going with the comments for now, guys, of course. Santa says Goldenville. You're showing me some anxious nail-biting faces. Goldovic with the golden nipple. Sorry, I couldn't help it. It's all good. Yorick. It's all good. So Dawn said, all right, sorry, Dawn said, sorry, Brad, I was about 4 and running away from home because of all the streaming. Oh, God, you're a little kid and you got your bread and butter in the house and you're trying to escape all the fucking chaos and you're a little child. Oh, that's all. That's obviously trauma, isn't it, man? And you're not going to feel safe emotionally in those situations. It's not preparing you for peace, is it? It's preparing you for chaos. And you just, as a 4-year-old kid, God, you're just really underdeveloped at that time. Santa's saying, oh, wow, Dawn, what happened after that? Brave little Dawn. So Dawn saying, I don't remember. I probably ate my butter sandwich and got summoned back home. Yeah, you don't have much control or influence when you're a kid. You just got to survive it. You got to just weave your way through the chaos unconsciously as a child. Sandra says, a St. Gregor of Nin. Thanks, Sandra. With the go to the big tall guy. Thank you, Sandra. I forgot the name. Thanks. We're on about the statue in Croatia in Split, by the way, if you don't know what we're on about. The legendary big toe. Yes. Sandra's saying, LOL, Dawn. Yep, Yorick, it's a golden toe. I'm going with the comments best I can. Sandra's saying, ha, ha, ha. This is literally golden, though, Yorick. Anyone going to Christmas markets this year? Do you know what I find with Christmas markets? Changing the topic slightly. They're all the fucking same. Am I being a bit cynical? And can they be nice and charming? I've been to the Edinburgh Christmas markets. I've been to the York Christmas markets. I've been to Manchester Christmas markets. I've been to Split Christmas markets. And they can be good. They can be nice. They can be fun. But sometimes they fuck Manchester. I remember Manchester once. It was so overcrowded. You could not move. It was wall-to-wall people. You couldn't move. And then it's just a lot of the shops and stores are all copy-paste. A lot of it's the same stuff and it's overpriced. Am I being a bit cynical? Does it have a magical, like, German beer, what's it called? The German beer and all that kind of thing, and mulled wine, etc., etc. Can it be positive? Can it be nice? But I do think a lot of them are similar. I'm not saying that they can't all be positive, though. You're not saying you might go to a Christmas market. I think this year, if I'm going to go to a Christmas market, I want to go to one that I've not been to before. Let me think about that. Don't say I haven't planned to, but I had to pour concrete into 30 whiskey barrels a few weeks ago for Edinburgh Christmas market, and I'm tempted to go have a look at what they're making. Edinburgh's stunning, of course. They have good Christmas markets. They do. But you're saying they're all the same. They're very similar. It's copy paste. You've never been to one, Dawn. It's an experience. Is it the best experience I've ever had? In my opinion, no. But can you have fun and have a good time there? Yes. Is it overpriced? Yeah, it's overpriced for what it is. But it can be good. Depends on how you approach it and where you go and what your perceptions are, I suppose. Sandra's saying, oh my God, wow, Dawn. I've been to Edinburgh one. It's amazing. But yes, it's all similar. Yeah. Sandra likes the sauerkraut, sausages. Yeah. There is some nice food, though, there. It's nice. Nice burgers and whatever else. Dawn saying she might go and have a nosy. Yeah, it's on your doorstep, Dawn. You've got Edinburgh City on your doorstep. That's amazing. Sandra's saying, I had that one in London Christmas market, LOL. Sandra's saying, go for it, Dawn. Right, sorry, right, so let me just write this down in a moment. How to stop self-sabotage, we're going to talk about in a moment, okay? Let me just type that in. So we've all self-sabotaged, in my opinion. I think a lot of people have done. How are you going to stop it? It's like you realize you're sabotaging your own life. You realize that you're fucking everything up. You're preventing yourself from really good things in your life. How do you stop it? It's going to be it's different for everybody. How to stop self-sabotage. I'll go to the comments in a moment, guys, but I do go into, so how are you going to stop it? How are you going to prevent it? Let me just write this down a second. And it is, okay, how are you going to stop self-sabotage? Please, just a quick one, sorry guys. If anyone's a troll on here, leave them, please leave them. Please leave them. I know you might not agree with that, but please leave them. It helps me algorithm. I'm just going to allow it to help my algorithm, if you don't mind. So how to stop self-sabotage? It's noticing your triggers, noticing, being aware of your thoughts. What's pissing me off? Why am I doing this? Why am I? It's accountability, really. Thinking, I'm responsible for my triggers. I'm responsible for my actions. Even though I've been treated like shit as a kid, even though I've grown up in a fucked up, traumatic environment, even though my mum and dad were narcissistic or whatever it is, which is not fair, it's not nice, and you could blame them for everything, and they could be justifiably so, but you have to take accountability. You're an adult now, let's say, you're not a kid anymore. You've not had a best hand. With regards to parents, you might not have got the best hand. You might not have. And it's harsh, and it's not fair. And you're justifiably upset, and you're justifiably disappointed, absolutely all the way, but you've got to have accountability now. You just have, even though it's not fair. You've got to think, okay, what are these triggers? Why am I doing what am I doing? I'm accountable for my own triggers. I'm responsible for my own shit. That's a great start. That's a great start. If you've got that, you can move mountains. So notice what your triggers are. What are the triggers going to be? You could have a drop in motivation. You can have a drop in motivation. Like you start something really strongly, and then you're all in, and you're really good. It's all good. It's all exciting. You're really excited about it, and then you have a sudden drop in motivation. It's like, there's a trigger there. That could be me. That could be from my past, potentially, my past behaviors, my past trauma. Overthinking spirals, I'll move on to next. Overthinking spirals, overthinking situations, scenarios. It's like that endless, it's like a dog chasing its tail, isn't it? Round and round and round the thoughts go. These thoughts are very powerful. They're emotionally charged, and you're overthinking everything, health anxiety or whatever it fucking is, and you can't sleep at night. You lie in bed, overthinking spirals. That what's this? This is a trigger. This is something that this is my past trauma speaking here. Recognizing that's a trigger. Thinking, right, okay, how do I slow this thought process down? Could be done through breathing. Could be done, achieved through a variety of ways, let's say, but first it's being aware of it. Perfectionism kicking in. I do it. I fuck up sometimes. I've got a high standard for myself. I really push myself really, really hard. And if the day doesn't go perfectly, and I make a little mistake or forget something, I can really beat myself up, and that's my perfectionism kicking in. And that's basically, that's from my past trauma. That's linked to it. It's linked to it, and then it's acknowledging it, going, okay, I'm aware of what I'm doing. And I suppose it's being kinder to yourself, isn't it? Being gentler with yourself. Another one is avoidance behaviours. Avoidance behaviours. We've talked about these previously, haven't we? God, I still do it now. I'm a right dick. You know what I'll do? Imagine this person, right? This is me in this situation. I'll have someone, they're fucking the nicest, soundest person in the world. I really get on with them. I really respect them. I think they're a great person. I'm really friendly with them. But a lot of the time, when I'm walking out and about, I'll avoid them. I avoid people sometimes, and I have no disrespect to them. I have lot of respect to them. I like them as a person, but I'll avoid them in the street. Has anyone done that? I see someone in the supermarket, I can't be asked speaking to them, even though I like them, and I'll avoid them. And I've been caught doing it in the past. Been caught doing it, and then they probably thought I was a piece of shit or as arrogant or anything, something like that. But it's just me being an avoidant type of person sometimes. That's something that I do sometimes, by the way. Avoidance behaviours can be different as well. You can be avoiding situations. You don't put yourself into promotional situations. You don't allow yourself to do well. You avoid any pressure. You avoid any challenges. You avoid any promotions in your life or whatever it is. You avoid situations. You avoid relationships. That there can be avoidant behaviours too. But it's noticing those triggers. Remember that. I'll move on. Feeling overwhelmed out of nowhere. All of a sudden, everything's too much. Even like it's a straw that brought the camel's back. It's like you can't find your favourite pen. You misplaced it and you have a meltdown. And it's like, you're feeling overwhelmed. But it's not the pen, it's all the rest of it. But you're not aware of it. Sometimes it's a straw that brought the camel's back. One little thing can just trigger you and make you really emotional, make you really upset. And you're really upset about this little thing, like you've lost your pen. Like, not a big deal. You've got another 10 pens there, but your best pen's gone. And you're really upset about it, and you get really irate about it, and you're really angry about it, and you're really emotional about it. That's feeling overwhelmed of a tiny little thing. But really, the deeper issues is because there's deeper issues there. There's bigger things at play that you maybe not acknowledging. Again, noticing your trigger. That could be a trigger. I'll go to the comments in a moment, guys. I'm just going with this. Another one is negative self-talk. Negative self-talk. I still do it now. I have thoughts that are very dark sometimes in my head. Really fucking dark, trust me. But I don't have much of an emotional connection to them. I'm neutral to those thoughts sometimes, those negative thoughts. Your thoughts can lie to you sometimes. Your brain can lie to you sometimes. And I have negative self-talk, and I beat myself up sometimes, especially if I'm tired and maybe burnt out. I think of things in a very negative way sometimes. I have negative self-talk, and and that is another trigger for me personally, a big one. But it's just limiting the damage that they can do. Obviously, positive affirmations can help with that. Also, just acknowledging, oh God, you silly fucker, why are you thinking that? Don't be silly. And then I move on and I rephrase it. But it's good to notice those triggers, of course. Fear of success, fear of failure. We've talked about those things. They're triggers. Fear of doing well. Hijacking your own life, basically. Fear of success. Not going to therapy. Could be a fear of failure or a fear of success. Like I'm too scared of going to therapy, so I'm not going to go. I don't want to fail. I don't want to look like a dickhead. I don't want to start crying and being a blubbering idiot. I don't want to be seen as weak. I don't want other people to think I'm fucked in the head or I'm not an unstable person. Therefore, I won't go to therapy. That can go in your mind. I did that when I was in my teenage years. They said, "Oh, you need to go and see a psychotherapist." Like, 'cause I was struggling big time. I was too young. I was 13, man. I didn't have a fucking clue. And I said no to it. Because I was scared that I'd be stigmatized, is it? I had a stigma towards it, saying that anyone that goes to therapy is broken and they're weird. And some people will think that, by the way. They will, because they're scared of it. But I think it's a great thing. Sorry, but anyway, but that could be a fear of failure, couldn't it? An example of it. Like, I'm not going to go and do that because I don't want to expose myself, so I'm not going to do it. I don't want to fall flat on my face, so I'm not going to bother trying. I'm not going to go to university. I'm not going to do that job. I'm not going to get a new job. I'm going to stick with this shit one I've already got. I'm going to stick where I am. I'm going to stay where I am, even though it's shit. I know it. It's a familiar shit, so I'll stick with that familiar shit. I've fear of failure, so I won't even dare take the plunge into the new job or the new opportunities. Therefore, sabotaging good moments. Like I said before, picking fights. Some people sabotage good moments. They've got a good life, they've got a good work environment, and they'll just pick a fight with someone for no reason, just because they want to have an argument, just because they want to get the adrenaline kick from picking a fight for no reason. Self-sabotage, though, is sabotaging relationships or anything like that. I'll go to the comments in a moment, guys. Thank you for anyone that's liking. Thank you for anyone that's watching. Thank you for anyone that's subscribed. It means a lot. I really appreciate you all. Thank you. Sabotaging good moments could be withdrawing, acting on autopilot, withdrawing, taking yourself away from situations, acting on autopilot, just unconscious behaviours, and doing some unhelpful behaviours. Something that aren't for your greater good, self-isolation, becoming, going away from everybody, basically. Sorry, I'm just gonna, let me just give me a moment. I'm gonna go to the comments, one moment. Give me a moment, I'm just scrolling up. I know you might not agree with me keeping the trolls on here. However, I'm going with it. And if it's against me, I'm good. And I want to just, this is my new approach, let's say that. It helps my algorithm, by the way, massively. As shitty as it is, it helps my algorithm. And if it's against me, I'm good. I've got broad shoulders. I'm good. I've gone through enough shit. This is all good for me. Sorry, going on about that, about Christmas markets. Sorry, guys. A gingerbread carousel and a Santa's workshop. Sounds fun. Sounds fun, Dawn. You pale little weasel. Most deadliest animals. You pale little weasel. How are you, most deadliest animals? I hope that you're okay. Thank you for helping my algorithm. Thank you for being on here. And if you're venting on here, maybe that makes you feel a little bit better. There we go. That's all I'm saying on that. Santa's saying, I love Christmas since forever. You love it, don't you, Santa? Yeah, love it a lot more than I do, if I'm honest. I like it's a nice rest. It's a nice break. I think there's a lot of positives from it. It can be very stressful for people. And also, sorry, but I think I need to be there for people around Christmas time. I'm going to try and be there for anyone that feels lonely during Christmas. That's where I'm going to have to be. I have to be there for people. That's what I'm going to be doing as well, going forwards a little bit. Anyway, don't say there are little ornaments and lights and moving parts. Santa's saying he's hardly pale, LOL. You sound angry, most deadliest animals. You sound, yeah, coming across as angry potentially. Most deadliest animals saying how to stop self-sabotage. I have no idea. Be accountable. Very well said. Most deadliest animals. Absolutely, I agree. Be accountable. Yeah. Own your shit. Own it. Have accountability. You are correct. I agree. You're saying, yes, let's just troll them back. Go for it. Go for it. Do what you want. It's all good. Santa's saying, yes, definitely be accountable. Yeah. If you can be that, you can, oh God, if you own your own shit, man, it says a lot about you. It's a lot of integrity with that. I respect anyone that's accountable for themselves. If you've got that as your foundation, the basics, you can do so much. You can move mountains. If you've got that as your foundational, like in your character, in your behavior, if it'll underpin everything else. It'll hold everything else up in place. It's a really good foundation, that being accountable. It's solid if you're truly accountable, let's say that. Most deadliest animal said, I was the first one to say it. Yes, you was. You was the first one to say it. Most deadliest animals. Dawn saying it's always the people with cartoons and pictures instead of their own faces that attack other people's looks. Yeah. Hide behind. Yeah. It's true. It's true. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is a good way to think, where am I at? If you come on here and you've exposed your face, whatever, you don't have to, by the way. Each their own. But I like myself. I love myself in a good way. I love myself most of the time. So I'm okay. Dawn saying, I'm happy to play with them to help algorithms. Yes, thank you, Dawn. Have a good time. It's a good training ground as well for putting. It could be used as a good way, a light-hearted way of setting boundaries as well. Because all you'd have to do is type. So it could be a good training ground for people, potentially. That's the way I see it. That's flipping it on a positive kind of thing. Sandra's saying Dawn, yes, because they're socially awkward, insecure, and usually miserable too. Yeah. And it's just trying to make himself feel better. Of course. Sandra's saying me too, Dawn. Dawn said, nailed it, Sandra. I think you can have fun with things as well. I think you can have fun with things. And trolling, you can, as long as you can make fun of it sometimes, I believe. It's not personal. It's words. You control how you feel. Kind of logic. Dawn saying sitting in mummy's basement with the stud toys trolling the internet. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Dawn laughing and eating a soggy, having a crappy meal with your little crappy toy. And your fries. Yorick saying they need to be like Mr. Gold to spread the golden blessings. I agree, Yorick. Mr. Gold, you could say is like a really light-hearted, nice troll, if you could say that. I don't even see him as a troll, actually. Sandra's saying single too, potentially a virginity at 40. But yeah, you're nailing it with the criteria of that type of person. You're probably nailing it a lot of the time. And they wouldn't even look you in the eye if they saw you in the street. They wouldn't do shit. They wouldn't do anything a lot of the time. Sandra's saying virgin. Sandra's saying we need Mr. Gold back. I agree. He's lovely. Dawn's saying doing something over anime, which on the tugboat. On the tugboat. Sorry, I think that's funny. Mr. Gold saying, say his name and he appears. We all believe in gold. Welcome back, Mr. Gold. Thank you. How are you? Sandra's saying, haha, love the anchor. Rhymes. What does anchor rhyme with? Does it rhyme with something? Might do. Use your imagination, guys. Bit of wordplay going on. Sandra's saying, oh my God, I called him and he appeared. Yeah. How to self-sabotage and be like Mr. Gold. You're not sabotaging anything, Mr. Gold, in my opinion. Sandra's laughing at Mr. Gold. Gold never sabotages itself. It only glimmers and shines. Blessings to all. Yorick saying the golden one has appeared. And Dawn saying, I'm always waiting for everything to go to shit. Yeah, it's too good to be... Like, you're thinking, oh my God, when's it all going to fuck up? Life's too good now. It's going to fuck up at some time. It's got to. Yeah, I get it. I probably do sabotage, but I haven't quite worked out what I do. I think everyone's done it to an extent, Dawn. Anyone. In my opinion. My perception. Most deadliest animals. I got sick the other day. I think it's because I cycled to work at 25 miles per hour in super cold weather without any protection from the icy air. Where are you from, most deadliest animal? Yeah, if you've not got the... yeah, it's got a lot colder recently, especially in the UK. I cycled to work for 3.5 years. Every day. Most days, should I say. Yeah, you do feel that cold, especially in the face. I used to have one of them. I forgot what they're called. Sorry, it's like a thick... It's like a scarf kind of thing. I forgot what they're called. And I used to put it over my face. I used to have a hat under on my helmet. I used to have like a fleecy kind of top on as well. I used to put loads of layers on. I used to have those covers over my shoes, cycling shoes, and the pants as well. They really help. Is anyone else unwell? No, touch wood. I'm feeling very healthy at the moment. Most deadliest animals. How are you doing? The cold doesn't make you sick. Not just on its own. No, I get what you're saying. Most deadliest animals is saying, I'm sure it does. Most deadliest animals saying, what trolls? Well, you're not. When you began most deadliest animals, you referred to me as something, didn't you? Whatever. So that would be trolling, wouldn't it? Because that's being a troll. What does a troll do? They're usually rude, aren't they? A lot of the time, or they're spamming or whatever they're doing. So that would be a troll. So you began with troll-like behaviour. However, on a really positive, to be fair to you, you've displayed some positive traits there that wouldn't see you troll. Your broad eyebrows, I do. They go down, don't they? I do. You're right. It's true. Sandra's saying, Sandra's looking up. SJ Gibbons, 1000. Hi, SJ Gibbons. How are you? My name's Brad, by the way, if you don't know already. Fuck the trolls. Keep the positivity all the way. All the fucking way. Just keep going. Water for ducks back, mate. Water for ducks back. It's a sign that you're in a good place. You just keep going. SJ Gibbons, sending love and respect back to you. Thank you. Sending positivity back to you, SJ Gibbons. Thanks. You're saying some people do 8601. Yeah. Sandra's saying, nope, the cold doesn't make you sick. Viruses do. You're right. You're right. You're right. I get why people would think that, though. I get, if you're just thinking it from a layman's perspective, I can understand why people would just think the cold makes you sick kind of thing. If you're looking at it from a layman's perspective, if you're not really looking into it. Dawn's not had a sniffle for 6 years. I'm jealous. Dawn, why? Let me think. Why is Dawn? Dawn, why do you think that you've not had a sniffle for 6 years? Please can you explain? I think that's great, by the way. I'm jealous. I'm jealous in a positive way, not in an envious way. Can you explain why you think that? Is it because you're outdoors a lot? Very active, you're in the outdoors, you're within nature. Is that a part of it? You have a meat-only diet. How long have you done the meat-only diet for is the question, though. Let us know how you live and how you... Let us know, if you don't mind, how you think you've achieved not having the sniffle for 6 years, is the question. Sandra's saying, yes, SJ Gibbons. Absolutely, Sandra. Dawn saying, well said, SJ. Absolutely all the way. Yorick saying, yes, if cold made you sick, that would mean people living in cold places like Antarctica, etc., would always be sick, but they aren't. Exactly, Yorick. True. Sandra's saying, wow, Dawn, that's amazing. Is it the carnivore diet? Has that played a part? I'm assuming it has, you know. Sandra's saying, oh my God, Brad is okay, let's trolling them back. Yeah, of course, do what you want. Well, obviously, you'll do it in a nice, respectful way anyway. You've got integrity, you've got emotional intelligence behind that as well. I don't think you'd ever be nasty to anybody for no reason, and you just smart, really. Smart and aware, basically, that kind of approach. Sandra says, yay. Dawn says, I've only been carnivore on and off for, I think, 3 years, but I was already conscious of the processed food, etc., and gradually got better. So you've come less processed food, less shitty food, on and off with the carnivore. I think if I'm going to do I need to do the carnivore, Dawn. Thanks, you just reminded me. I really need to do it. I want to, but I'm not going, to be honest, Dawn, I can't do it. I don't think I want to do that all the time. I want to do it on and off. On and off is the way, I believe. And I'm going to do that, Dawn. I know I keep saying it. Sometimes it takes me a while. I get an idea, and sometimes I'm aware of the idea, and I know it's going to be good for me, but sometimes it takes me a while to take it on board, truly to do it. But once I decide to do it, I'm all in. That's how I work usually. But I have to do it. I have to try it. I think I'll do a month or something. I think a month, 4 weeks would be a reasonable amount of time. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dawn. How do you do that? How do you approach meat only? How have you approached it? How have you structured it? Is the question. Have you done a month on, 2 weeks on? How do you usually do it? Sandra says, bring it on. Dawn, that's great. Well done. Dawn says, let's go. Sandra saying, I don't eat processed foods much, Dawn, but I'm staying away from sweets other than honey. Yes. Sweets are so addictive, and I love eating shit. Sweets, it tastes great, don't get me wrong, but it's sweet poison, of course. Sandra saying it's like a field day out, Dawn. LOL for us, yeah. I think they might be aware that they're up against it, and I thought, fuck this, I'm not bothering. They're just thinking, oh shit, there's high vibrations here, and I think the trolls in that situation think they fade away very quickly. I think that's what's happened. Don't say that's the path I went down. As soon as I discovered Dr. Chafe, it all made sense and I went for it. Sandra, I think we need to apply that. I need to try it. No pressure on you, by the way. Do what you want to do. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Sandra's saying I'm going to look into that, Dr. Dawn. I think it's worth looking into. I think it's worth exploring. I think it's worth trying. Educate yourself on it as best you can to begin with. And then just try it. And then see how you feel about it. And if it's not for you, that's fine. There's no rules. You live the life. It's your body. Do what you want with it, of course. Sandra's saying, no, Mr. Gold is golden, not a troll. I agree. Say his name when he appears. Believe in Mr. Gold. Let's see if he comes back. Dawn's saying he makes so much sense and he's a healthy-looking ex-rugby player, not a fat mess giving out health advice whilst dying like most doctors. Dr. Chafe, yeah, you've mentioned him before. A lot of doctors, in my experience, they're really smart. They help people in a lot of ways. They do. They've got a lot of experience, got a lot of knowledge, and every doctor's the same. Some are really good, some aren't so good, as I'm sure you're aware. However, in my opinion, a lot of them, they don't really learn about nutrition. They're not taught about it. They're taught about medications, and they know the medications inside out. And some of these medications are brilliant. They really are. They really are. Of course they are. And they can help people in different ways. However, they don't think about the nutritional. The best health is food, isn't it? The best doctor is healthy food. But they don't really learn about it when they're learning, when they're doing their degrees or whatever else. When they're training to become a doctor, they don't really think about nutrition much. They don't put much time and energy into it. And they're too busy focused on other things. I'm not discrediting those things, but they miss the nutritional part, in line with what Dawn's just mentioned. You've got to be your own doctor to an extent, responsible for your own health. Sander is applauding Dawn. I agree. Dr. Mark Hyman, yes, Sander. Dr. Mark Hyman is very good, in my opinion. Dawn saying I'll have a look. Dr. Mark Hyman's very, very knowledgeable, speaks really well. Most Deadliest Animals, it says he's from London. Okay, how's life in London, Most Deadliest Animals? I took a screenshot so I can look him up. Dr. Mark Hyman speaks really well, Dawn. And Dr. Jeremy London too, love him. Mr. Gold has had his golden vitamin, so doesn't get unwell, and the golden sun boosts my golden immune system. Oh yeah, you're right, Mr. Gold, because you get vitamin D from the sun, don't you? You get vitamin D from the sun, so that's you sorted there. Sandra's saying hello, Mr. Gold. He appeared again because you said his name. Sandra's saying just saw your video on YouTube, Most Deadliest Animals. Interesting take on dieting. LOL. What do you mean that? Sorry, I don't know what you mean, Sandra. Just saw your video on YouTube, Most Deadliest Animals. Not sure what you're on about there. Yorick's then said, I've been drinking pomegranate juice. It's rich in antioxidants and very healthy. Very true. Pomegranate drink's really healthy, really good for you. It's called Pom Pom. I've heard about it. It's £4. Yeah, I've heard about that. I've never had it though, if I'm honest. Yorick. Yorick saying the sun with its golden rays, it's all you need to never get sick. We all need vitamin G. Yep, get yourself some vitamin G. You don't need anything else, just vitamin G all the way. Don't say it's full of sugar though, Yorick. I used to think fruit was healthy. Yeah, fructose. I think there's healthy aspects to it. Fructose, oh yes, from fruits, of course. It's better than processed sugar, though, isn't it? Of course. Dawn saying very true, Mr. Gold. And Sandra's laughing at Mr. Gold. Get yourself some vitamin G, please. Thank you. And yeah, but the natural sugars, yeah, fructose, Yorick. You're right. Sandra's saying I had homegrown fresh pomegranate whilst in Croatia. Yorick, it's delicious. And Yorick's saying he only drinks 100 mils a day, so it's not overdoing it. Don't say, I think it's because I avoid fake food. A lot, you go to the supermarket And more 80% or even 90% of it's fake food. Maybe most of it's fake. Most of it's highly processed shit that's very well packaged. It looks attractive. A lot of it has deals on it as well. There's always a deal on for the chocolate and the sweets, isn't there? There's always a sale. There's always something to attract you to buy it. Is it fake food? In a way, yes. Is it good, healthy food? It's highly processed, highly engineered food, which have got so many E numbers in and all sorts of shit in. And is it going to make you sick if you eat it all the time? And it's going to kill you, potentially. Time will kill you, of course, but that will speed up. Highly processed diet will speed up the process. Highly processed diet is just as bad as smoking and drinking as well, by the way, in my opinion. Dawn says she's not taking any vaccinations. Smart. Haven't done since school, and I'm always outside. So that's in relation to Dawn's not been sick for 6 years, I think she said, and she's avoiding the highly processed food. She's not taking any vaccinations. You're outside, you're living, you're moving, you're healthy, you're eating healthily. You're not giving the cold or flus a chance to infiltrate your body. Let's say that's a good place to be. Yorick saying 100 ml is less than a cup, like a quarter of a cup. Yeah, it's only a small amount, Yorick. Dawn saying, I thought I've been counting for 2 years, but I think it's 3. Time goes quickly, Dawn. Yorick's then saying, also, pomegranate is very healthy for men, especially if it boosts our testosterone levels. Yes, true. There's truth in that. Yorick, have a look at Dr. Anthony Chafe. Yeah, worth checking out. Absolutely. Yorick saying, and a high testosterone level means less chance of getting sick. True. Carnivore will sort out your hormones. I think there's a lot of truth in that. Yeah, I agree, Dawn. Yorick saying vitamin G, brilliant. Mr. Gold, you have got a massive fan in Yorick. And all of us, thank you. Keeping it light. I think it's, I say this a lot. I love working on myself. I love digging deep, and I love fucking work, like making people better, growing through the suffering, growing through the trauma, growing through the pain, becoming a better person. I think it's amazing. I think it's what we're here for. We're here to grow through the suffering and develop ourselves. However, sometimes I don't want to always, it's good to joke sometimes. It's good to laugh sometimes. You can't always be serious. I think it's good to work on yourself and work on the deep things, and it's really important. It's essential in life, in my opinion, but you can't always be on it all the time. I think it's good to be cover lighter things sometimes too. And balance is key, as I say. Dawn saying, I've done 3 months straight and it was amazing, but I occasionally get tempted away from it, then get back on it again. And I think that's okay. I get it. It's like Christmas time. I suppose it could be more challenging then. You did send me a video, Dawn. I didn't watch that one. If I'm honest, I didn't watch it. I need to watch it. You did send me a video. Thank you. I'm going to share it on the group and I'm going to watch it. Like I said, this is not an excuse. It's a reason. I have an idea, like I want to do it, but then I'd put it off. I put it off for a while. I need to make sure I'm ready for it. I'm close to being ready for it. I want to do at least a few weeks of applying that meat only diet. I think it's coming soon, maybe before Christmas. I don't want to do it at New Year because I think everyone's doing that at New Year. I like to set my own resolutions on my own back. Don't think they're taught about the food pyramid and that causes people to get ill. It's unbelievable. Yeah, okay, thanks, Dawn. I need to look at it. So thanks for reminding me. Thanks for sending me the video. Sorry I've not watched it. I should have watched it, but I didn't. I watched the other one, but I didn't watch that one, if I'm honest. Most deadliest animal says you should try the cannibalism diet. Right, so you're going down the Hannibal Lecter road there. I wouldn't recommend that. Most deadliest animals. Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. Right, so let me move on. Sorry, signs. I'm just going to finish my little bit of content. How to stop self-sabotage. Okay. One moment. Slow down your reactions. Slow them down. Breathe before responding, especially in relationships. I don't always get this one right myself. It's like trying to prevent those knee-jerk reactions. Those emotionally charged knee-jerk reactions where you don't think about what you're saying. You're like a wounded animal that's been scarred, and you snap back. And I suppose it's having a few breaths first, not having that knee-jerk reaction, taking a step back, in and out and calm, and in and out and calm with regards to the breath. Just thinking about things, observing things, slowing the mind down, slowing your breathing down, trying to calm those emotional reactions down. Easier said than done, that, by the way. That's not always easy. It's easy to say it, but doing it's you know what I mean? But that can help. Challenging the old voice. My old voice, I still have it now. I still have really dark thoughts. They're very, very dark, trust me. And they just repeat in my head sometimes. And I don't believe them and I don't trust them because they're dark, what I think in my head sometimes. And I think, oh, you silly person, Brad, why are you saying that? Challenging the old voice, going, do you know what? I'm rephrasing that. Is this, and also it's like the old voices in your head could be from somebody else. So is this my belief or something someone has told me? Is this what I truly think of myself? Or is that what I've heard when I was a child? Is that really me thinking? Or is that an old unhealthy pattern that I developed via the trauma that I've experienced as a child? Is this really my inner voice? Is this my best self speaking? Analysing those thoughts, catching those thoughts. Through self-awareness, basically. Building tolerance for good things, reward small progress. Yeah, building tolerance for good things. Even if you've had a bad day and it's really difficult, you just got through the day. You've got through the day. Rewarding, giving yourself a pat on the back. Even if you've just got through the day, you've not really achieved anything. You've tried your best and you kind of fucked it up. It's not worked out like you wanted it to. But giving yourself a pat on the back. Reward small progress. Sometimes it's like, do you know what? Today I went for a walk for 15 minutes. I don't usually go for a walk. I didn't go that far. I turned up to the gym. Sometimes I turn up to the gym and I don't really do much because I've got not the energy and I don't do well, but I give myself a pat on the back for even turning up. That's what I'm thinking with regards to that. One moment, sorry. Sip of water. Another one is your nervous system needs safety, not pressure. Yeah, your nervous system needs safety, not pressure. Sometimes you need to settle your nervous system down. If you're highly strung, you're high cortisol levels, you're highly strung, you're seeing problems all the time, you're tense, just calming that nervous system down is said and done. Obviously, with regards to the meat-only diet, if you're ever going to apply that, and if you've got any health issues, check, maybe do some research first. Check with the professionals sometimes, because some people might be unhealthy. That might not work for everybody with regards to that. However, I'm going in line with what Dawn was saying. Is if you have a meat-only diet, it can help you have less inflammation in the body, therefore feeling less stress, calming the nervous system down. This is just one method, by the way. It's not the only method, but it's a method. And there could be some truth and help with that method with a lot of people, but I can't say for everybody because everyone's different potentially. Just being safe with my opinion there. But it's calming that nervous system down. And that takes a lot of time. It takes through breathing, through meditation, through self-care, through doing positive things, creating positive habits, through journaling, through talking about things, through going to a psychotherapist, going to watching YouTube, watching YouTube channels or whatever, watching anything, content that's in relation to what you're suffering through. That can help. Talking about it here, sharing it on here, whichever way you want to do it. There's so many options out there. There are some of the ways you can help stop self-sabotage. Okay, so reassure. Right, so self-sabotage is not who you are. It's not who you are. It's what you were taught. It's what you were taught. Self-sabotage isn't failure. It's a trauma response a lot of the time. It's what you've learned. It's like a bad habit, really. bad. It's like you've taught. It's your trauma response, basically self-sabotage a lot of the time. But don't beat yourself up too much. Okay. I'm going to go to open chat for a little while. That's my content talked about. Open chat. I'll go with the comments for a while. I've done a longer one today, of course. Let me just write that down. Okay, open chat. Let me go to the comments. So, most deadliest animals are saying, as you should try the cannibalism diet, mate. What the fuck, mate? I don't think that's a healthy way to go, man. Halloween's over, 8601, Yorick says. Yeah, Halloween's done, man. Been and gone. Dawn's laughing. Yeah, I'm not into this new year, new me crap. Nope. New year, new me. Let's go on. Let's talk about that for a moment. It's just like, basically, what happens is people get paid at Christmas. A lot of people get paid monthly. And they think, fucking buzzing, I've got loads of money. And it's Christmas, and I'm off. I'm off work for a few days or a week, or whatever you get off. So they get really drunk. They eat loads of shit food. They get fat. They get a little bit sick. They're eating loads of shit. They're drinking loads of alcohol. And then after a week, they're skint. They're fucking no money. They're hungover to fuck because they're drinking more than they usually do. They're eating more shit than they usually do. So they're looking a bit fatter. They're feeling a bit shitter. They're feeling sluggish. They're feeling a bit down. And it gets to New Year's Eve and they're skint. And also, you're thinking, shit, January is a really long month. It's cold. It's dark. It's wet. You go to work, it's dark. You go home, it's dark. And you're skint and you're hanging out your ass. So they make New Year's resolutions. One, because of that one reason, in my opinion. And a lot of times, because everyone else is doing it. Oh, everyone else is making a New Year's resolution. I'm going to be a sheep. I'm going to make a New Year's resolution too. And a lot of them, gyms love this shit. Gyms love this shit because it's like loads of paying customers. Happy days for the gym. Really busiest month of the year for a gym is January, of course, because people are just sheep and they all jump on it. I'm not saying that some people that do New Year's resolutions actually see it through, which is great. And I think it can be a positive thing. Don't get me wrong. But I believe, in my opinion, do your resolution when you want to do it, when you independently decide, not because everyone else is doing it. Don't be a sheep, be a sheepdog. Don't be a fucking sheep, be a sheepdog. Don't do resolution because you think society needs you to do it. New year, new me, fuck off, basically. I'm a bit cynical with regards to it. I really am. A lot of people won't agree with what I'm saying. I get why. Maybe I'm being a bit cynical. And I'm not saying it can't work for some people some of the time. A lot of people, though, they fail because they're not doing it for genuine reasons. They're not doing it because they genuinely want to do it. They're doing it because everyone else is doing it, and they're doing it because they think society expects them to do it. So therefore, it's like building a house on sand. Like, I'm going to build a new house, but it's on sand. You've got to really want to do something. Make the resolution now, or make the resolution when you want to, when you plan to, independently on your own. And then therefore, I believe with that logic, you have much more of a chance of succeeding with regards to that. Dawn said, it's so powerful being able to stay calm when I would have normally started to defend myself and argue. Yeah. It's hard sometimes. I recently had someone be rude to me at work. They were fucking out of order, trust me. I called them on it. They didn't like me calling them on it. They won't like me now. I will not be liked by that person, and I'm okay with it. And I still felt the anger in my stomach. I had fire in my belly, believe it or not. I had fire in my belly, but I held on to it and I was calm. I kept calm. I kept my composure. Therefore, I kept my power, in my opinion, in that situation. Being calm, especially in stressful situations, is so powerful. It's a superpower. It really is. A lot of people misunderstand it. A lot of people underestimate that. They really do. Dawn said, I always thought I needed to have witty comebacks, but silence is better. Oh, it's so powerful. You're right, Dawn. I used to always think that too. Oh, I wish I had a witty comeback. Sometimes I do have witty comebacks. It doesn't come naturally to me. But silence is obviously better. Just nothing. Sometimes a good old awkward stare will do as well. Just stare quietly, calmly, unemotionally. and let it just sit there for 5 seconds, just stare at them 5 seconds and then turn away and then start talking to someone else about something else. Say if they were rude to you, for example, you just stay calm. It helps when you analyze the room. It helps when you observe people. And then if you can spot a narcissist or a toxic person before they spot you, you're winning all day long and you know what to do. And you already know what you're going to do next. Don't say another thing I'd like to thank Sander for is Jefferson Fisher is brilliant. Really, really is. Really smart guy. Very, very true. Yeah. I agree, Dawn. Yes, Sander introduced me to him as well. He's really good. Don't say it's safe for everyone, Brad. Once you feel how good it feels, I'm sure you will agree 100%. I believe we're natural carnivores. We're meant to be. Safe for everyone. I have to look into it, Dawn. I'm going to do it, though. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it, and then I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you how I feel about it and what I think about it. I really do I have to do this. I need to sort it. Let me think about how I'm going to do that. I'm going to achieve that. Thanks. Dawn saying, if you're on blood pressure meds, you have to be careful because carnivore reduces high blood pressure and meds can make it too low. So you need to be monitored. Same with insulin if you're using it. Yeah. I think with regards to people's health, it can be very complex and individualized. And I don't want to say it works for everybody all the time. Maybe it does, but I'm not saying that. I'm agreeing with a lot of the benefits that can give. However, I'm just being cautious with regards to saying out loud on here about if it's okay for everyone. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But like you're just saying there, Dawn, you've got to be careful. I need to learn more. I need to educate myself about this more. To be open and honest. Because carnivore can reduce high blood pressure. And some meds can make it too low, so that needs to be monitored, yeah. You don't want to have too low blood pressure. You don't want something that's compounding something and it can affect you in a negative way, potentially. I'm going to research that. I need to research it. Once I start going down the rabbit hole, I'm all in. Anyway. Right, guys, I think that's it for today. I've gone for a while, haven't I? It's been a really good live. I'll give it a couple more minutes, see if anyone's got anything else to say, of course, and then I'll call it a day with regards to the live. I'm really glad I'm back in the UK. I'm doing the lives here. It feels just much more natural to me, my own environment doing this. It's been much better. I've enjoyed today, to be honest. It's been great. What am I going to talk about next? Good question. Not now, today, but in the future. I'll have to look into that. If anyone's got any suggestions, then let me know, and I'll talk about those things the best I can. I'm just being quiet for a moment. Open chat. If anyone's got any topics they want to bring up, they can do. No pressure, by the way. I'll see how the comments develop, or if they do develop. That doesn't always occur, which is absolutely fine. So yeah, what am I doing next week? I am going back to work. I'm working 6 days next week. I'm doing overtime. Probably doing about 55 hours next week. Yep, I've got to do it though. Needs must. It's all good though. I will be going live on Sunday next week at 10 o'clock in the morning, which I always do. I'm consistent with regards to that. I need to look at being more consistent. I'd like to do one live during the week in the evening, and then maybe obviously keep doing the Sunday at 10 o'clock, which I've been doing, and then hopefully getting one in on the Saturday as well if I can. That's what I'm going to try and work towards. Jory's saying, I've got an idea, Brad. It's Thanksgiving is coming soon in America. Talk about the next stream, what you're thankful for. I like that. Thanks, Yorick. What are you thankful for? Good one. Gratitude, basically. In line with Thanksgiving kind of thing. I think that's a bit of a lighter one as well, Yorick. A positive one works towards the same thinking of working on yourself, self-improvement, healing yourself. Gratitude's a massive thing. It's such a simple thing. It's such a fucking simple thing, and we're all guilty of forgetting those things. Well, I'm guilty of forgetting what I'm grateful for, what I'm thankful. Really good idea. Thanks for that. I'll look into that, Yorick. Going back in line with what Dawn says, I used to always having those witty comebacks. Yeah, I used to think sometimes fighting fire with fire as well. Sometimes that plays into a narcissist's hands as well with the witty comebacks. You might have the best comeback, but then you're in the game, you're involved in their game then potentially. Being silent is such a strong thing. Being calm is such a good thing. You're not feeding the drama. You're not feeding the attention of that person. You're not giving them what they want. You're just giving, you're just showing them how strong you are, basically. You're not sure what day it's on. I'm not sure either, Yorick, because I don't really. Thanksgiving, good question. Does anyone know when Thanksgiving is? It's an American thing, isn't it? I think it's a good concept, a good celebration. Let's say I don't know too much about it though, if I'm honest. Obviously, I'm not American. So yeah, that's that. Guys, I'm going to call it a day. Thank you for anyone that's watched. Thank you for anyone that's subscribed. Again, if you want to email me, you can do on inspirationalambivert@outlook.com. I'm going to look at that Dr. Chafe, by the way, Dawn, if you're still here. Thank you for reminding me. I need to look into it. I'm going to look into it with regards to the meat-only diet, carnivore diet. But anyway, so thank you for anyone that's watched. Thank you for anyone that's subscribed. Thank you for anyone that's commented. I appreciate you all. I'm doing my best to help people the best I can. That's my that's what I'm focusing on, really. Dawn saying I remember taking tins of food to school for Thanksgiving. I don't think I ever did that, Dawn, if I'm honest. It's a good thing to teach kids, I suppose. Absolutely. Anyway, I'm going to go. I've been going for 3 hours and 46 minutes. Gone for quite a long time today. I've done really well. So thank you for your time. Have a great Sunday too, Yorick. Don't say I'm here. I'm excited. I think you'll love it. I think I'll love the feeling that it gives me. Yes, I just know. I know I need to do it. In my mind, I know I need to do it. So yeah. So thanks for your time. Thank you. Thanks to everybody. I've enjoyed the rest of your Sunday. Make the most of next week. I know it's not always easy. Bye everyone. Look after yourselves. Keep going. Don't give up. And yeah, just be your best self. Be your best self each day. That's best you can do. So anyway, thanks for your time and goodbye.